so picking up from where we left off. Here we go. So the party has returned to Waterdeep, and the High Priestess Justine is once again conducting a scrying to find another chosen of Saloon. And during the scrying, the party, of course, sees that there is there's a gnome. And Tolan, you may describe yourself as your describe what your character looks like.
He's a gnome. He's pretty short. Has long black hair with a little bit of a goatee. Has a big hat with a large feather in it. Kind of looks like a swashbuckler a little bit. Has a big old scar on his one cheek, obviously. Seems like a guy who's knows his way around the rapiers he carries.
So the party sees this gnome, and he's entering. He drinks what appears to be a glowing red potion, drinks it down in a little vial, and then enters the forest. And that's all they really see of this character they're looking for. And then the scene kind of pulls back a little bit, and the party realizes that what they're looking at, they're kind of getting an aerial view. They're looking at an area, and they do recognize it because of a very recognizable landmark. They're looking at an area over here. In the very northeastern edge of the Sword Coast. The area is near Citadel Adbar. Citadel Adbar is a dwarven stronghold right over here. And they see these two great spiked towers that are characteristic of Citadel Adbar. And they see that the gnome entered the forest right next to this Citadel Adbar. So they know where the general area is. And that's really the only information they get from this one. So the party, you guys can you plan your trip over there. It's gonna take several weeks to get over there. You don't know what this forest is. You've never, there's plenty of forests nearby. You haven't ever heard of this forest, but it appears to be the forest located right over here, near Citadel Adbar, that the gnome has entered. So you make your way. So the party, you pack everything up. Is there anything you wish to do before you leave? Anything you wish to buy in preparation? You don't know what you're going to face, but is there anything you want to... I will open the shop if you need to buy something.
Look at my inventory.
Look at mine as well. Let's see what we have here.
You know what? You guys can work on it as you need to. I will actually open up all the shops.
Oh, wow. I got a lot of gold.
There you go. All the shops are opened. All the prices are updated. Now the prices all reflect the sane magical pricing guide. So in the past, I had prices that were all over the place. So there were some things that were not priced properly, like a wand of magic missile. So of course people bought it because it was so cheap. So now things are accurately priced according to the same pricing guide. So these are going to be the prices in the future. And I think that the stores will be updated one more time, and then that's it.
Okay, so I've got a ring of protection and a ring of evasion. Okay.
And of course, if you need me to sell stuff for you, you just put it into the party sheet, and I will... You actually have a couple of things in the party sheet if you want to take them out and put them in your inventory. And if you, whenever you want me to, I can put a sell thing on the party inventory to get everything sold. So what? As you guys look at the shops, I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to Tolan. Okay, Tolan, you received this strange letter. It was given to you by a dwarven courier. Young dwarven courier, you from Citadel Adbar. He was wearing the regalia, so you recognized him because your people, the gnomes of Verdun Forest. That's where you're from. You guys always had an understanding with the dwarves of Citadel Adbar. You had a kind of a loose alliance where you wanted to be kind of left alone. You guys wanted to be hidden, and you don't want much of the world to know about you. And the dwarves were willing to kind of keep your little home a secret and not tell most people unless it's absolutely necessary. And in exchange, your people have traded a lot of kind of magical essences with the dwarves in helping them forge their magical armors. So you've always had this alliance, so it's not unusual that a dwarf from Citadel Adbar would come and find you. But it seems like the dwarf had been looking for you for quite a while, for a couple of weeks. And this letter is really strange. This is a letter by the mayor of your hometown. Your hometown is called Thistledor. And the mayor's name is Boswin Dolaberg. And this letter is written by him, but it doesn't sound like something he would say. He's normally a very jolly, happy, kind of fun-loving guy. He wrote you a really cryptic note and says that you must return home immediately. You know, our home is under siege. And it doesn't specify what's going on. It's not... And normally... Boswin is a very loquacious guy. He will just talk and never shut up. This note has a couple of sentences and that's it. It is signed by Boswin, but then again, you can't recognize if this is actually his handwriting. So the whole situation seems very suspicious.
Having piqued my interest, I'm definitely gonna go with caution over to my hometown, obviously.
All right, you get to the edge. The note has within it contained that the solution, and this is a magical potion, and it is distilled from the pure essence of what's called the ethereal stream. The ethereal stream is a magical stream that flows through your town and actually keeps your people, supports your people. It is a stream that is partially in the Feywild and provides a strong magical essence which not only disguises your entire town, but also makes crops grow and allows everybody born in the town to have some sort of magical ability as they grow up. So even if you choose not to become a wizard, if you grow up in this town, you have some sort of inclination towards magic because of your connection to the stream. So it's become really the soul of your people and who they are. And this little vial is a distilled essence from the stream. You recognize it, and you know that when you drink it, it changes your vision. It gives you a plainer sense. You are able to see through the forest a magical path that will lead you home. If you were not to drink this potion and try to walk into the forest has powerful illusion magic that people will walk down the forest and never be able to come out and be lost. So you drink the potion, and also to leave your town and go back into the forest, you also need to drink this potion. You know that, and you drank it when your family left. You also know that the town generally is kept secretive because you want to stay amongst yourselves, and you guys are usually kind of governed by the mayor of the town, but you don't have a lot of conflict in your town. You're generally a pretty happy people. Your family left just because of a sense of adventure. You wanted to go explore and travel the world in your little caravan, but it wasn't by any sort of bad under any sort of bad circumstances. You remember while you were growing up, when you were very young, you remember the mayor. He was about the same age, just because of the way that gnomes age. But the mayor had a beautiful daughter. Her name was Naihana, and you remember her so well. You can almost picture her in your head. She was the talk of the town. Every gnome wanted to date her. Every gnome was interested in her, but she was the mayor's daughter, and she, not many gnomes had the courage to kind of go and talk to her. Unfortunately, one of your brothers was. He was always like the big strong guy. He was a really strong fighter, and he was the only person you know. His name was Warno, as given in your backstory, and he was the only gnome who really kind of was able to go and spend some time with her. But in the end, he wasn't able to marry her, and he begrudgingly left, just with the rest of you. But you remember you had the biggest crush on her, but you never had the courage to try to talk to her. So that's what kind of stands out in your mind as you think about the Dolabergs. And you enter the forest, and you go through the winding path as dictated by the magical potion, and then you end up in you come to the edge of the home that you used to know, called Thistledore. This is what it looks like. You look around, and something seems really strange. Normally, when the town always has the sound of the ethereal stream, kind of echoing in the background. The town seems very silent. You look around, the ethereal stream is nowhere to be seen. You look at where the ethereal stream was supposed to be. It's supposed to, as you see in the picture, it's supposed to run right through the middle of the town. It's dry. The banks are completely dry.
With an eyebrow raise, he's really concerned and tried to, with a little bit of a quicker pace to his step, he'll start making his way to his home where he grew up.
You go to your old home, and another family lives there at this point, because you've sold your home. And you knock on the door, and an old gnome opens the door very slowly, kind of peeks out like he's kind of afraid. Tiax rules all. Who are you?
Hello, I am Toland. I've been traveling a while, and this is my hometown. This residence you actually live in is used to be my humble abode a long time ago. I'm trying to figure out what's going on here. The stream is empty. Would you happen to have any ideas?
As you mention the stream, he looks terrified. He says, I don't want to talk about it. Tiax rules all. Tiax rules all. He says, if you just came to town, you got to go talk to the mayor. Please leave me alone. And he looks like he's actually really upset, and he just slams the door in your face.
That was a concern. He said Tiax people?
Tiax rules all. That's what he said that like 4 or 5 times.
And then on that note, I will actually make my way over to the mayor's office. Or where I remember the mayor's office used to be.
So you go to the mayor's home, and the mayor's home is dimly lit. You can see that the mayor used to be very proud of the beautiful Feywild botanical gardens that he had in his front yard. You know, he used to spend all his time taking care of these beautiful flowers. They're all overgrown. Looks like he hasn't tended to them in quite some time.
Cautiously, I'll just try to maybe peek in the window before, because this is unusual. So I'll.
You look inside. You look inside the window, and you see that there's somebody sitting in a rocking chair, looking at the fire.
Is it a similar build to what I've seen before?
Yeah, it kind of looks like the mayor.
And then I'll slowly go and actually rap at the window so I can actually see when he looks at me.
You knock at the window and you kind of look at you knock at the window. You kind of look over. He doesn't seem to even acknowledge you. Acknowledge the knocking. You go look at the front door and it's already partially open.
What I'll do is kind of step away from the door a little bit, and I will cast minor illusion and kind of create a duplicate of myself right at the front of the door, and then like from the side push the door open.
Okay.
Just
you push the door. The door opens with a creak, and you can see that the mayor's in his rocking chair, looking at the fire, kind of humming to himself.
He's humming. All right, then. I'll precautiously walk in there, keeping an eye out for anything, and then call out to the mayor.
You look around the
His name?
His name is Boswin. You look around the mayor's house, and it's in pretty bad shape. It's in disarray. It looks like it hasn't been cleaned or cared for in quite some time. There are dishes left all over the place. There are tools. There's books kind of fallen off the bookshelf on the ground, and the mayor's just sitting there, kind of in the rocking chair, humming to himself. And you call over, and you have to call over to him 3 or 4 times before he kind of breaks out of his little humming trance. And he looks over at you. His eyes are bloodshot. He says, "I don't recognize you. Tiax rules all. Tiax rules all." And this is the mayor that you remember. He looks terrible. His eyes are bloodshot. He looks like his eyes are sunken in, like he hasn't gotten sleep in quite some time. He's not very well, and you remember him as a person who really prides himself on his appearance. He used to comb, he has to get his hair done really well. He had his chops perfectly shaved. He looks like he's kind of very unkempt. Who might you be?
I am the one you sent for. And I show him the note.
Oh, is that little Tolan? Oh, it's been how many years? It's been 12, 14 years? Oh, it's been quite some time since I've seen you. How have you been?
I've been living a little, getting some experience. I'm trying to figure out what's been going on around here. What happened to the stream?
He looks at you and
differently around here in this town.
He looks at you and you see tears start kind of coming down his face. He says, "Oh, I'm sorry, Tolan. I'm so sorry for bringing you here. I had no choice. TX rules all. I had no choice. I'm so sorry."
Who is TX?
The mayor kind of starts up. He kind of looks back and forth. He's listening. He's listening. Everything we say, everything we do, he hears us. He sees us. He's everywhere. He says, and then he starts humming to himself. He's like, I need to tell him. Can I please tell him? Oh, TX, great ruler of all, great ruler of everything. Just let me tell him. Let me just tell him everything. Because he's here. He's not going anywhere. I can tell him, right? Yes, thank you. You don't know who Boswin is talking to. You don't actually sense any other presence in the room. Kind of look around and you kind of wondering if this whole town's gone mad. And Boswin looks at you and he says, I'm sorry, Tolan, for bringing you down here. I had no choice. I had no choice. He forced me. He forced me to bring back gnomes that used to live in this village, including your whole family. I sent letters to all of them. And you were just the second person I sent a letter to. I first sent a letter to Warnell. I remember as children, he and Nihana used to be friends, so I sent him the letter first, and he came here first. But then you came, I guess. He says, "Oh, I'm so sorry, Tolan. Things are real bad here."
What can I do to help?
He says,
It seemed weird that you're calling everyone back.
He says, I don't know what you can do. I don't know what can be done. We are under the rule of the great and mighty Tiax, who is handsome beyond imagination, and whose power is beyond any imagination. We are under the great and beneficial rule of the great Tiax, and he wishes to call back previous residents of this place. You see, Tiax, he was once a resident here many millennia ago. This was even before my time. But Tiax left, and he became godlike, and he became super powerful. And once he was super powerful, he came back, and now his beneficence benefits us all. And you can tell he's being forced to say these things. Like he's looking very uncomfortable while he says these things. He says the great Tiax, he stopped the stream. I don't know how he did it, but he stopped the stream. And without the stream, nobody can come in this town and nobody can leave. He says he only lets me have small vials, only small bits, so I can bring more gnomes into the town. He says, I tried to refuse, but I was in error. I was such a stupid Boswin, and he hits himself. I was so stupid. I was stupid, and I tried to betray him. Then he took Naihana. He says, I'm sorry, Tolan. I had no choice.
I understand. Just calm down. I kind of want to go possibly meet this Tiax. It seems like I'm probably gonna find him up the stream a little bit.
Tiax, you cannot see Tiax unless he wants you to see him. You see, before Tiax came, do you remember the inventor, the great inventor that used to live in the center of town with a tower? And you do recall that there used to be an eccentric inventor that had a tower called the Retreat. It was built in the middle of town, and this inventor, he liked to build a lot of like weird little inventions. And you remember when you were a child, he built you a little toy owl bear that used to come over and click around. He says, the inventor died a few months back. He died of an unknown illness. And then a young man came into town. Very, very handsome young man. Great beard. Oh, such a magnificent young man. Seemed very powerful with magic. He came to town and he said he was the inheritor of the inventor's tower. And I didn't think anything of it, so I let him have the tower. And then the stream dried up. And then Tiax told us that it is under his magnificence that the stream dried up, and that he needs to control the stream because we are sinning against the Tiax, the great Tiax, and we need to follow his orders.
I understand. There's lots of things change as time goes by. By any chance, what was the name of this young man who took over the tower?
It was the great and magnificent Tiax, the one who is handsome beyond reproach.
Okay.
He took Tablo's tower, and then something is very strange with the tower. If you go see it for yourself, the tower cannot be entered under any means. It is under a powerful magical barrier, and you know. Thistledore, we are not strangers to magical enchantment, but this is something that we have no power over. No spells work on this tower. We have tried powerful spells to break the enchantment, but nothing worked. And then when we were disobedient, the great and magnificent Tiax, he told me you have been disobedient, and now we have to pay the price. And you can see like more tears come down his face. And he started asking for gnomes, from the town. He wanted gnomes to go inside the tower, and he would open the door temporarily, and the gnomes would go in, and they never came out. And your brother, I'm sorry, your brother was one of them. Warno came about two weeks ago, and Tiax asked for him personally, and he went in that tower. He never came out. Almost a dozen gnomes have gone in that tower, and Tiax says if I don't bring back more gnomes, he's gonna ask for more people from the town. He asked that. That's why I wrote you the letter.
Understood. You wanted to praise the mighty Tiax and keep him happy.
Yes, praise Tiax.
I can understand people struggling sometimes and have to do things they don't want to do.
Praise Tiax.
So, praise Tiax.
So
probably gonna get the most out of him.
So Boswin is really kind of out of sorts, and you realize he's sitting there and he's holding this little painting of his daughter Naihana, and you can tell that he's really grief stricken, because Naihana was one of the gnomes that Tiax has kind of captured inside his tower. And you can tell that he's really out of. He's like, I know your old house is gone, but I can give you one of the empty residences. You can stay there for now. He says, I'm so sorry. There's no more ethereal stream vials. You can't leave.
I see that. I will take residence in one of these abandoned homes, and I will praise the mighty Tiax for the time being. And I guess I'll make my way over there for now.
Yeah, so you go over to your own, your residence. It appears to be the home of a small gnome family that has been taken by Tiax. As you walk in, you can see that somebody was preparing dinner at the time when whoever used to live there was taken by Tiax. Of course, the food is really old and kind of gone bad. You do the best you can to make it livable and kind of set up there. But on the way, you do see this tower. You walk over to the tower, and it appears it's a stone square tower. It's got a big front doors, and you can tell the tower's about maybe 3 or 4 stories tall. You can see that there's windows boarded up on the second and the third stories. You go over to the door, and there's a powerful magical kind of enchantment on the door.
I sense it, but might as well ritually cast to detect magic to see if I can get more information about it.
This has never happened to you before, but detect magic finds no magic, although you visibly see magic.
Ooh. Interesting.
So the Boswin Dolaberg has told you that, despite the fact that everybody in this town is pretty well versed in magical arts, it's something that they have never seen before. They haven't encountered before. They can't break whatever enchantment is sealing this in, and the more they do it, the more they anger Tiax.
Okay.
So they've been kind of kept under this menacing tyrannical rule for months. All right, so we're going to go move over to the rest of the party. You other three. So you guys, you finished doing the shopping that you need to do, and you're ready to go.
I'm going to tell everybody to look at at our party, the things that's in the party sheet. If nobody wants any of it, that we could go ahead and sell all of it. I already took something out of it. I don't remember what it was, but
yeah, I just want to get everyone prepared, so you won't be doing any shopping because the store in Thistledore has been closed.
So you
A mercenary contract.
that was what we got.
Yeah, we need to keep that.
That's worth a lot of money, but it's Jahira's Harper contract.
That's Jahira's.
Well, grab it and put it in your inventory. That's right. There's a +1 heavy crossbow. There's a scimitar +1. And I have that mace in mind that unless somebody wants it, I'll be willing to sell it too. It's a powerful one, but...
Well, is it that you want me to sell all this stuff right now, or you can wait till later? Because if I can sell it right now and you can get the gold. Since Tolan's now in the game, we can distribute the gold evenly.
Well, I'm okay if you just want to distribute the gold, and then we can all look at that stuff later, I guess, before we go on our main. That's fine.
It's up to you. I'll just keep it
Do
there
we
for
need the
now.
healer's kit?
I have a healer's kit, but if somebody else wants one, then take it. Maybe a tiny.
Let's see. Would tiny marble cakes be able to use a healer's kit?
I think being a bard gives you global proficiency. So even if you're not proficient in it,
You have the jack of all. I have the jack of all trades.
yeah. So
feature.
even if you're not proficient in it, you get at least half proficiency.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Do I have a healer's kit in my inventory? I don't know if I do. I have 3 potions of healing. Okay.
I'll just go ahead and take it. It's only worth 5 gold pieces. And we only get half of that, so I'll just go ahead and take it.
All right. So Dolrak, you're gonna take
No,
the.
You go
No,
ahead and take it, because you got the
you.
proficiency.
Yeah, you go ahead and
Alright.
take it, because that way we have it.
All right then. I'll take the healer's kit.
Has anybody got a sling?
No, I don't. No, I think we're okay.
I would say go ahead and sell everything now.
Studded leather
What about the
armor,
10-foot pole?
does that help anybody?
We might need that 10-foot pole.
Cool. So I've got
10-foot pole's the running joke in D&D for many years.
the diamond dust in my inventory for if I ever need to cast Greater Restoration.
Ooh, that studded leather sounds good. Even though I can't grab it from you guys, I'm not near you guys.
No, it wouldn't make any sense for them to buy stuff for you to use right now.
Yeah.
No, you'll get the chance to buy spells and all that stuff, but just hold off until very much later.
Yeah, I will.
Because you're gonna get opportunity to fill up your spell book.
Yeah.
So I'm good. Yeah, I think we're good. You want to just go ahead and sell everything and empty the sheet out? That'll take care of
I was
some
gonna
stuff.
say, how are we doing on rations?
We're not been using rations. If we're going to start using rations, then we can start worrying about it, I guess.
All right, I guess if we're not, if
Well, we haven't been using them, but
if we're not
last adventure,
if we're not gonna worry about it, then let's not worry about it.
Oh, the +1 weapons I have to reprice before I sell because they're priced wrong. I'll take care of it later, unless you absolutely need more money right now.
Nah, we're cool. I'm cool anyway.
Okay, we're good. So it takes about a 10-day to get there. The party takes about the upwards of a 10-day, to get all the way. And when they get there, the only thing they recognize is Citadel Abar. They don't recognize the forest next to Citadel Abar, so naturally they just go to Citadel Abar. And when you go there, they kind of they don't want to let the people who are non-dwarves in, even though Dolrak, you're a dwarf, you're traveling with non-dwarves and you're representing the Church of Saloon, so they don't immediately let you in, and they just talk to you at the gates. And you go over there, and a kind of an old dwarf, the graying beard comes off. He's like, "Hi, can I help you, travelers?"
With my military rank, would that help me?
Yeah, possibly.
with the soldiers or the guards?
Yeah, possibly. What can I do you for?
Yeah, we're here looking for the gnome little village over here in the woods. Is there a way we can get in there?
How do you know there's a gnome village?
Oh, yeah, right. Through our vision, because we were with the Church of Saloon, we are looking for a certain gnome that we've seen going into this village, which is kind of hard to explain, which you just have to trust me on this. And we need to gain access.
The dwarves kind of look at each other, and then they look at you, and the guy replies, "You need to roll a persuasion. You get advantage for being a dwarf. I guess for military rank as well, but you know, a dwarf to his own kind, you get some advantage to persuade him because they look at you. They don't seem very willing to talk about it. The old dwarf's like, "Why would you be seeking out the gnome village? Good night of saloon."
For some reason, we feel that something's going on there, but we're seeking this certain gnome because we are on a mission to help save the world, and we need his help. We've been sent by the Mood Maidens of Saloon.
He says, "Oh, like I can see you're on official business. This is a bit of a sensitive topic. We're not truly supposed to talk about it. There does exist a gnome village in a Verdun forest, but they're well hidden. We have an arrangement with them. We trade with them once in a while, but haven't had any contact with him in quite some time, except there was a courier that delivered some letters not but a fortnight ago." He calls for the back for the courier, a young dwarf, adolescent, barely has a beard, runs up. He says, "Aye." Says, "Aye. You wanna tell these good folk about the gnomes and the gnome village? You delivered some letters for them." He's like, "Aye, sir." He's like, "Yeah, paid me good 100 gold to deliver good 40 letters to gnomes all across Faerun. Been traveling, just got back." He says,
"Think you could be able to help us get to the village so we can check this out?"
I'm sorry, I can't. I've never been to the village. I can't even go in there. They have a special way to transport things back and forth, and we communicate. And he shows you a little summoning portal. He's like, "Yeah, but nothing's been there. Haven't had any communication with him for a good fortnight before I got paid." He's like, after that, haven't seen him, haven't talked to him. He says, "We don't even know how to get to their village. If you go into that forest, you better watch out."
John, can we hear, when we see them visions, can we hear what's going on or just see?
You don't, no, the vision only, your guys' vision only ended with him entering the forest. You did not see
we didn't see what happened in the village.
You did not see what, that was Tolan's personal experience,
right,
but you
okay.
did not see him enter that village.
Okay.
So the kid tells you, he says, "Yeah, I know where the village is, but I have no idea how to get to that village. You go into the forest, you're gonna get lost. You're gonna get lost in deep magical enchantments from the Feywild in there. You get lost and you'll never get found."
Well, since we're, my name is Norris.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, my name's Norris. It's a pleasure to meet you. We are on a pretty important mission, and we saw the other member of our party go into that forest, and we wasn't really able to see where he was going to, but we really need to urgently get to him in order to help to complete our mission.
The adolescent looks at the older dwarf, Gimbal, and Gimbal looks at you guys. He's not really sure what to do. He's like, well, I suppose I can send a letter to the mayor. See what he thinks. Yes, he's like, it's up to you. I can write the mayor, but it seems like they haven't talked to anybody in a fortnight at least. So he kind of takes out his stationery. He kind of scribbles a letter. He says, "Who you are? Who are you? You say?" Servants of Saloon?
Yeah,
So-
we're from the
servant-
Temple of Saloon.
Servants of Saloon, you're looking to enter the village and look for a specific gnome?
Yes.
Okay. So he scribbles this stuff down, and he takes the letter. They put the letter onto this little scrying portal, and he says a little enchantment in gnomish, and the letter poof disappears. He's like, well, I sent him the letter. I don't know when he's gonna reply. Yes, you're free to wait here if you want.
Is this where the letter will come back?
Yep. This is how we communicate with the gnome village. They, in the past, they used to send couriers, but they haven't sent any gnome couriers in good 100 years or so. This is how we communicate. This is how we trade.
It's a good skit sent there.
So your little letter has been sent off, and then we're gonna skip over a little screen wipe back to Tolan. And Tolan, you've spent about a week in Thistledore. The mood is miserable. So you from what you gather, you've talked to several people in town. Not many people have actually seen this Tiax, but Tiax is they do describe Tiax as a young gnome. They have to describe him as extremely handsome, but you feel like that's because they're forced to say it. Description's kind of vague, but it's a young gnome with red hair that entered the village a couple of months ago, took over the tower, the inventor's tower, after the inventor mysteriously passed away a couple of months ago. And ever since then, it appears that some of these gnome villagers, they have gone missing after they entered the tower. Tiax would give the mayor some orders on which villagers he wanted, and these villagers were forced to go into the tower. From hearsay, you heard that Tiax demanded that the mayor hand over his own daughter, Naihana. And the mayor adamantly refused. Mayor's like he was trying to have himself be the sacrificial lamb instead, but Tiax demanded to have her. After the mayor refused, it appears that she was kidnapped in the middle of the night. So nobody actually saw her go inside the tower. Her room was ransacked and completely tattered. The window was broken into, and it looks like she was just nabbed in the middle of the night. And that's why the mayor is so distraught. After that had happened, the mayor pretty much faithfully just did whatever Tiax wanted. When you go back to the tower and you do further examinations, it's very difficult. There's clearly magic at play inside the tower. You've been observing the tower for quite some time, and you notice that the tower appears to be plane shifting visually, but when you cast magic to try to detect it or dispel it, it is as if there's nothing magical there at all. So you're getting a little bit frustrated because you can't leave the town. You're stuck here. You don't know what to do, and you don't know how to take care of this. It doesn't seem like Tiax has contacted you directly in any way. All you're doing is you're hearing that the Tiax is talking to the mayor in his head. So you at least go back. You go back to the mayor's place to at least try to make more sense of this, because you're kind of getting frustrated at this point. And the mayor looks at you, Tolan, and he says, he's reading this letter that he has in his hand. He says, the Mayor Dolaberg looks like he's like, Tolan, have you told people about our home? You know that's not allowed.
What do you mean, told? Of course I haven't told anyone about it.
There's people looking for you. There's people. He says this letter is from Citadel Adbar. They said that there's servants of Saloon looking for. They describe a gnome sounds a lot like you. He shows you the letter. Who would be looking for you? From the Church of Saloon. That's weird.
Have I heard heard the Church of Saloon?
Oh yeah, you know what the Church of Saloon is a common thing, but you don't have you obviously have no idea who these people are, whether they would be coming to look for you. And then Tolan all of a sudden you see that he says, what do you mean? What do you mean? These are, we don't even know who these people are. They're not even gnomes. He's like, Tiax. Oh great, Tiax. I don't want to let these people in our home. We're not supposed to let anybody who's not a gnome in our home. These people, it sounds like, are they dwarves? They're coming from the Adbar, Citadel Adbar. He says, Boswell looks at you and says, Tiax demands that I let them in. Tiax demands it.
Tiax demands that we let him in? Oh boy.
And
I'm
then,
just thinking...
and you see Boswin kind of, he starts kind of struggling, right? And he kind of fiddles around. He opens a plank on the floor. He says, I have six vials, but Tiax knows every vial that I use. He says he knows if I give it to anybody. He says, I'm sorry, I have to use these vials. And he takes out four because the note describes four people. He takes out 4 vials. He says, I have to let them in, but they're looking for you. I don't know who would be looking for you. Do you know? It's like, I hope there's no violence in the town. He looks at this fancy magical rapier you've picked up that's at your side. He's like, you look like you've seen some battle and some adventures. I hope you're not bringing any enemies to Thistledore.
Well, of course not. I haven't even brought any enemies here. They're probably just friends that I knew of before.
Like,
yeah.
Well, Bosman says, well, whatever. I don't have a choice. I have to let him in. He says, TX demands it. The TX is all wonderful and all knowing.
You do that. I'm gonna go check on something else, and I'll leave. Maybe I'll go investigate the stream. It might be blocked off. Maybe.
You go back to the stream. You've already checked this out earlier. The stream comes from the Feywild, so it starts off in a different plane, and then it kind of shifts into the material plane. But the origin of where it should have started, obviously, there's no longer a planar connection there. So that's why the stream is dry. There used to be it's sort of like a portal that allowed the material from the Feywild to come into the material plane, and that portal has been shut off. So that's why the stream is completely dry, and you can see that a lot of the gnomes, their crops are dying. So another couple of months, you realize it's kind of going around that another couple of months, the gnomes themselves are going to starve. It's already very difficult to get water to drink because they usually drink from the stream. Now they're trying to collect as much rainwater as they can and any ancillary streams, but there's not that much food around because you're generally a farming village. Gnomes, your gnoming village, you tend not even to hunt. You're avid farmers, and your crops are dying without the magical stream. So things are looking kind of grim. As you, so the Boswin places Boswin of course places the vials inside his end of the portal. And and 4 vials appear after about 3 or 4 hours. 4 bottles appear over at Citadel Adbar with a note. The dwarf, adolescent dwarf, unrolls the note and he says, "It says, drink this 1 hour before entering the forest." And he hands you guys the 4 vials.
How far is the forest?
Oh, it's about less than half a day's walk down. So just follow. He says, follow the old path. Can't miss it. It's like you'll know when you get to the forest. So it's marked off with an old dead elm.
In the meantime, Tolan is going to be trying to find a hiding spot / vantage point of the pathway coming in to kind of keep an eye out on who comes in, see if there's anyone I recognize.
Okay, Doorlock, I say we head to the forest, and then when we get close to the forest, we'll drink the vials.
Come on, fellas and ladies.
You guys get to the forest, and you do indeed see the old dead elm, and the path goes into the forest. There's a sign up that says, "Do not enter."
Well, there's no time better to enter than when we're not supposed to enter.
So we drink the vials, I assume, and
You drink
Yeah, we
the vials. At first, it makes you a little bit giddy, a little drunk, because it's it tastes like some sort of spirit. And then you start and then you look around, and your vision starts to intensify. And as you walk into the forest, you see a lighted path that obviously you're supposed to follow.
well, looks like they're welcoming us. We might as well follow this path, hadn't we?
Yeah, let's follow this path. Keep your eyes peeled and your weapons ready. So shields up.
So you follow the path, and after a while, you start seeing little fey creatures flying around. Fairy creatures. You see magical sparkles in the trees. You see the vegetation gets really, really weird. And then you see the path starts getting to area where it's well trod, and you walk past a bunch of old huts. The doors are you see a bunch of figures that catch you as you walk past the old huts. They run away and bar their doors. And then Tolan, you see from where you're hiding up in the trees, you see the party, none of which are gnomes, walking into Thistledore. The first time outsiders have been in Thistledore for over 1,000 years. One of them looks like a cat-like creature. There's a dwarf and a human.
Trying to think back to my times in the pit, and trying to rack my brain to see if any of these look familiar to acquaintances I might have known in the past.
Naturally, they don't look familiar to you. The dwarf is wearing the regalia of Saloon. He's wearing a big cloak with a symbol of Saloon on it.
Well, it doesn't appear that they're lying. I've always heard good things about Saloon, the Order. What I'll do is maybe around, out of sight from them, but like if they're gonna go around a corner or something, a little bit away, I will cast a minor image of basically a duplicate of myself, just to see if they end up reacting to an image of me and how they end up reacting. But I'll keep my distance.
So is they're at central a government a bigger building that looks like might be where some people might be the government of the little village or whatever that we could head to and maybe
there's one path into the village. You guys are on it. When Tolan makes an image of himself behind you guys.
Behind us?
I was gonna try and make it ahead of them, being halfway, but around the corner, so they don't see it right away. is the question.
Okay, I'm back.
Oh, there he is.
Hey, nice you could join us.
Yeah, sorry about that.
That's all right.
Oh man, me and my audio issues. Okay.
Oh, it was audio issues.
Yeah. Where we left off is Tolan left a minor image around the corner on the pathway in front of them. And he's waiting to react to what happens when these guys see the Tolan.
Yeah, what do you guys do when you see the image of Tolan kind of just show up in the middle of your path?
Well, Naris pointed it out to me, and so I'm like, yes, that looks like the image we've seen in the vision. Let's proceed with caution. I go up and talk to him and explaining to to let him know about our situation and why we need him. So we walk ahead to the image, and I introduce myself. I am Doldarak, and it kind of looks like the image is kind of wavy, like it's not a real person. Kind of weird looking. And
Well, you technically have to roll an intelligence check to see if it's.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You can roll one.
I can do that.
Roll it against his spell save DC.
Intelligence. Would that be on the skills or on the abilities?
It's just a flat intelligence.
On the first page.
Or I believe it could be an Arcana, but it probably don't. I don't think you beat. I don't think you can beat Tolan's spell save DC. So you don't know that this is fake. You can't tell.
Okay. So I'm still speaking to it. I'm like telling it that hi, I'm Dolrak. I'm with the Search of Saloon and the Moon Maidens, and we're here on a mission. And he was brought to us to a vision that you are one of the chosen ones, and we need your help in helping us defeat evil and save this world.
Hearing from a distance the interesting conversation that he's having, I smirk that. My illusion is fooling him, but hearing the intention doesn't seem negative. I put away that casting of fireball I was going to possibly do, and I shout out to the group down there, like, that's an interesting proposition you have there. You're an interesting group if you're talking to nobody.
I was startled and I grabbed Tiny and put her behind me.
I slowly make my way down the tree I guess I was hiding in, and
Look, here comes his twin.
Yeah.
Which one is it, I wonder?
There's two of them.
and like, say that again. So you're saying you're
Hi,
not
kind
square.
sir. I am Dolrak.
Well, hello. I am Tolan Bethlehem.
It's nice to meet you, kind sir. Did you hear what I said to your twin?
If you think that is a real thing, you gotta start thinking a little bit better than just a dwarf if you're gonna survive around here, I think.
Meow meow, minor illusion, meow meow.
Yeah.
Is the Mirage Tolan still up?
No, he took it down.
Meow
Yeah,
oh, two meow meow.
Oh, really? That's interesting. No.
Oh, meow meow, wait, meow meow. Nice to meet you, meow meow. Meow meow, tiny marble cakes.
And then she curtsies in front of him.
Yeah. Tolan will tip his hat to the little creature. Question is Marble Cake shorter than Tolan? That is a good question.
What is Tolan's height?
I never really put that much
Meow meow.
I know Tiny Marble Cakes is about roughly 5'4".
No, gnomes are shorter than that.
Yep, gnomes are shorter than that.
Well, yeah, gnomes are shorter than dwarves, and
It's a pleasure to meet you, Sir Tolan. My name is Naras Kukise, and I'm with this group of fine gentlemen. It was sent here by the Church of Saloon, by Saloon herself, as a matter of fact. We saw you in a vision, and as my good friend Dorlock here told you, that you are a chosen one to come and help us on a very important mission.
That seems intriguing. We'll have to ponder on that. But right now, I kind of have a problem of my own.
Perhaps we can help you.
You also know that they can't leave at this point.
Yep. You see, this is my hometown here, and just to let you know, you guys are the first set of strangers to visit this place in a long.
That's quite an honor.
Well, it seems that we're in a bit of a predicament. You see, you guys know you had to drink a potion to kind of come in here. Well, you also got to drink a potion to get out. And if you can see in this creek bed over here, it doesn't seem there's any potion left. The mysterious, whatchamacallit? The ethereal stream that allows you to enter and leave this place is run a little dry. We have what we see. That's the thing. I've been here about a week because I was called to come because I thought there was trouble here, and I haven't been able to figure out what's going on here. And it seems a lot of it has to do with that tower over there. And so I then go forward to tell them all the behind the scenes of this guy, Tiax,
Tiax.
supposedly Tiax, who rules all. Apparently he came into my town and turned things upside down. He brings people to this tower and they don't come out.
Is this Tiax a gnome?
Tiax is a gnome from what you've heard from people who've seen him.
Okay, so he is a gnome.
He is a gnome with supposedly a very handsome gnome with red hair. Probably not as handsome as me, of course.
I don't see how it could be.
But the thing is, I've been here a week and I haven't been able to figure out what the deal with this tower is.
But can you lead us over to the tower so we can take a look at it?
And then bring them over towards the tower and lead them over there.
You get over to the tower, and everybody can see that this tower, there's a powerful magical ward on the tower. The tower appears to phase in and out of the plane. Unfortunately, the towers you're not able to you touch the door and just a force field repels you back. You see some windows on the tower on the second story and on the third story, but the windows are boarded shut. Not boarded, they're like they're shuttered.
Okay. Hey, Tolan, do you know of any underground passages in this town or this village that maybe can gain us access to this tower?
I try to think back and remember if I remember any secret that the old inventor maybe have told me about. Do I remember anything?
You don't know of any underground passages in this town. It's built on swamp grounds, so probably wouldn't be any underground. As you guys are kind of looking at each other, Mayor Dolaberg runs up. And he is just flabbergasted to see the three of you. He's like, Biggins, in this town? Oh my goodness, what has the world come to? He looks at you like from one to another. He says, well, for what it's worth, welcome to Thistledore. he kind of laughs, uncomfortably. He says, Tiax wants you inside now. He looks at all of you. He's like, I'm so sorry. Please, if you see Naihana in there, if you can rescue her, please. Oh, I'm sorry, Tiax. I won't say another word. And he runs off.
Well, that was weird. Who was that, Tolan?
He's a man who's a little troubled right now, just like the rest of the residents in my home village.
As you say this, the ward on the double doors of the tower lift, and the double doors just creak open.
Well, that's
obviously Tiax is inviting you in.
Who's this Tiax, Tolan? Do you know?
That's the thing, is it's not a name that I recognize.
Tolan, you can roll a history because this is your town.
Yeah. All right. History.
You were inquiring around town for because you've been here for quite some time, a couple of weeks already. So you've been inquiring around town about as much as you can find out about Tiax. Most of the responses you get is the same thing. Tiax is wonderful and almighty and beautiful. But there was this really old gnome. He seemed to be less, caring about whether he lives or dies. He says he told you that he remembers Tiax. Really old. He was a very young child when Tiax was kicked out of Thistledore. Tiax was a gnome that used to live in Thistledore. Apparently, he was a very, very kind of odd fellow, and he was made fun of a lot. People treated him very badly. Tiax apparently had been dabbling in occult magic, specifically. He'd been kind of saying prayers. He'd been performing rituals to the dark gods. He was doing that because people were making fun of him, and he wanted to be more powerful. When this was discovered, the mayor at the time banished Tiax. He banished Tiax and cast a spell that kept him out for 500 years. But that was more than 500 years ago, and Tiax is back. So there's an old gnome that told you this, and that's what, as he could recall, he thinks that this he remembers a gnome by the name of Tiax who had this history, and he thinks that's who Tiax is.
Sounds like a bad dude. I think we should be careful. I think we should go in, but I think we should be careful as we go in and be aware of our surroundings. And
well, before we go in,
can't protect you.
What was that?
I said stay close to me so my aura can protect you.
He forgot to bathe this morning. Well, we should follow Tolan, I would say, Sir Dorlock. I'm maybe you should go right behind him, and the rest of us will follow. Tiny, you can stay close to me if you wish.
That seems like a plan.
Let's get in.
I'm not one who's not so different from a tuffle every now and then. But you scrawny guys, I hope you are going to be okay in a fight.
Well, we'll do our best.
Meow Meow wonder if we'll be able to leave once we go in, Meow Meow.
Well, I mean,
only time will tell.
Did Tolan tell us that we couldn't leave the village?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we can't leave the village anyway, so I think the answer to leaving the village is to taking care of this TX or coming to an agreement with him. So either way, I think we're going to have to go into the tower.
Sounds like a plan. All right.
Maybe we can convince him to lift the trout on the stream, Meow Meow.
Yeah, we'll find out when we go in, I guess.
We'll convince him one way or another, whether it's by blade or by mind, but we will do our best.
And I think on that note, I start to make our way into the tower.
Dun, 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 dun.
Hey, that's my line.
What, dun 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 dun, or roll?
Yeah. Dun, 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 dun.
So immediately entering the double doors, you come upon a short entry hall that is pretty bare of any furnishings. There's the wall of this little hallway that you're in is decorated with a plaster relief of fancy looking grapevines. The eastern wall has a wooden door with roses and vines carved into its frame. A stout oak door bearing a coat of arms that is identical to the one on the front door stands closed in this hall's northern wall.
Do I recognize coat of arms?
It appears to be the coat of arms of this eccentric inventor that originally inhabited this tower.
Okay. Not something new, something I'm familiar with.
His name was Tablo, and he was a really nice guy. You remember when you were very young, he used to come and have these just demonstrations of his inventions, and all the kids would gather around and watch his cool inventions. So you have fond memories of the original owner of this tower.
Pablo Escobar.
You broke up, Doorlock.
I wonder what's going on with my mic, because it started doing that the other day. I said Pablo Escobar.
I don't speak Spanish.
Well,
I was going to ask you,
okay.
Doorlock, I was going to ask you how your divine sense works. Can it go through walls and stuff like that? Just maybe you could cast it and see if there's any evil presence in here, so we could be better prepared.
Let's see.
If it don't go through walls,
the divine sense is specific on certain types of evil.
Right.
Fiends, celestials, and undead.
It's 60 feet, and it's the fiends and celestials.
Undead.
What about? Well, we know there's magic, but I could do detect magic.
Unfortunately, the detect magic wasn't working when Tolan did it.
Oh, okay. I wonder if it would work on the inside. Well, I guess it wouldn't. Yeah, I don't believe the divine sense is going to do anything.
Well, it depends on what you're looking for.
What do you want to look for in Eris?
I would
just go ahead, John.
Are you using divine sense?
Yes, I can. I'll go ahead.
Well, are you?
Yeah, it's a first level spell slot.
Yeah, you have to declare that you're using it if you want to try.
Well, then I'm going to leave it up to you if it has to use the spell slot.
It's just an action. I believe it's just an action. It's just an action.
It don't take a spell slot?
No, it's a paladin action.
I think, but you do have a certain number per day, I think.
Yeah, that's the only thing. But I mean, if it didn't cost anything, you might as well do it and see if there's any of the.
You have 4 a day that you can use.
Yeah. So I can go ahead. I will use it.
Okay. You unfortunately detect none of the above. No Fey, Celestial, It's not. I don't think Faye's part of it, right? Is Faye part of it?
I don't. 1 second. Celestial, fiend, or undead.
Okay, you get no sense of that, but I will, because you've used it, I will give you I think an insight would be appropriate. I'll give you an insight check.
Okay.
Can I give him guidance? Don't roll yet. Oh, it's too late.
That's too late.
Too late.
Over many years of fighting cultists of Shar, you have honed your warrior instincts to kind of be sensitive to when there is some sort of occult power, specifically Shar cultists. And your senses are kind of going off, although you don't see any obvious corruption by the cult of Shar here. You don't see Shar symbols, you don't see Shar magic, but your senses in your many years of fighting the cultists of Shar are going off.
Can he tell a direction, or is it just a... Sir Dorlock, can you tell a direction, or is it just a...
It's this
general...
entire place.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I think that's helpful. So I think we need to check these doors. So TX hasn't said anything to us since we entered the tower?
Nope.
Alright. Unless one of you guys are good at doors, I'll take a crack at it. Just to make sure.
You can if you want.
Well, I don't know if you guys are good at it. Are you good at investigating doors there, Tiny?
Meow meow. Good. Meow meow.
Dolrak, you could swear that there's this wall right next to you. You can swear that your senses in fighting the cult of Shar for many years is kind of tingling. But you look at the wall, you examine it, you don't see anything. It's just a very fancy looking pattern full of grapes.
Well, Tiny, take a look at the door. See if there's anything we have to worry about before we try to open it.
All right.
Is it just a random pattern?
Well, it's a decorative pattern.
Okay.
Is it this door here?
We need to check both of them, but
To the right of my token?
Yeah, so that door it's a small door. It looks like it opens up to a closet. And that door, you kind of take a look, there doesn't seem to be anything funny with... There's no lock on it, it's just a handle. Doesn't seem to be any funny traps or anything that you can find.
Do we hear anything?
You don't hear anything. I know there's some weird talking in the Sirenscape, but you don't hear anything.
Oh, I forgot to start that up.
I had it up, but I think it went down earlier. Because I don't hear anything with it now since John's audio crashed.
May need to reconnect or something. You do. I think what the only thing you hear is maybe there seems to be a fireplace crackling somewhere. Beyond to the north.
Has Tolan been in the tower before?
Tolan does not recall ever actually being in the residence of Tolo.
Okay.
Pablo.
Yep. All right, no. I just want to make sure, I don't want to go, oh, that's a broom closet on the right side, and just. All right.
Yeah, Sirenscape's not working. I just logged on.
Well, Tiny, what does the door look like to you right there? There, anything we got to worry about? We want to take a peek in what's inside?
Meow meow. Don't think there's anything bad behind this door. Meow meow. Meow meow. Think it might be just a closet. Meow meow.
All right. Open it up.
Meow meow. Open door. Meow meow. See what's inside.
You look inside, and there's several coats and cloaks and boots, all gnome-sized. The cloaks are hanging from pegs. Very fancy-looking clothes. They belong to the inventor that used to live here.
Dog.
Do any of them look special, like they could be magical or something? Or are they glowing or?
They look valuable and expensive, but you don't really think they're magical from what you can see.
I don't think they're gonna fit you in there, yes.
Yeah, there's an old walking stick, and there's a pair of boots. There's a pair of spectacles. You see that is just put on a little counter, like a little side end table there. And you know that the old inventor was very, very kind of far nearsighted. He never could see. He couldn't see anything without his spectacles. It looks like his spectacles.
Put the spectacles on to see if they.
Oh yeah, they are. They are. You have a headache. They are so strong.
Woo! I say, woo, man! I said, this dude must be half blind, and I laid the spectacles back down.
If I would put those on, could I see anything in the pattern on the wall?
No, you don't appear. It doesn't appear to be anything magical in the patterns in the wall.
Okay.
Oh. One door down, another door to look at. What do you think, Tiny?
Is there any like secret passages, or sliding doors, compartments, switches, or anything in this little tiny hallway?
You can try to investigate.
I'll go take a look in there and investigate a little bit, see if I see anything in there.
And while he's doing that, I think I would like to investigate this door.
Once again, the door has a handle without a lock. From what you can tell, there's no traps.
Okay, so there's no traps or anything out of the ordinary.
Yeah.
All right, so a passive investigation of 12 can tell me that.
Oh, I didn't even ask for a roll.
Okay.
Okay. Either there's a trap that's going to kill you instantly and you can't possibly make that roll, or there's nothing there.
All right. Well, I guess
it's going to be an insta-kill trap that's going to immediately vaporize you, and the DC is 55, and you can't possibly make the roll. So.
What if we combine all of our rolls together?
plus inspiration.
That still might be hard.
Does Tiny hear anything on the other side of that door?
Yeah, Tiny Marble Cakes will put her ear against the door to see if she hears anything.
You think you hear a crackling fire, but as you put your ear, the closer you get to the door, you notice that the door handle automatically turns, and the door shifts open, opening into a dining room. And sitting on the end of the dining room, you see this goofy-looking gnome. Not the most handsome gnome you've ever seen as described, but certainly seems very young, vibrant-looking gnome. He's got a ridiculous smile on his face, completely inappropriate. He's smoking this pipe full of this bizarre-smelling tobacco. You're here. Come in.
Hey, Tolan, what are your people up here?
Do I recognize him at all?
You don't recognize this guy, but you assume it's Tiax because he's got this red hair.
Yeah. Yep.
You assume this is the Tiax. Everybody's, won't you sit down? Come and bask before the magnificence that is Tiax.
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot of things about you there, Tiax. I'll enter and make my way over here, make a little room for them. With my hand on the hilt of my rapier, ready to spring it out just in case.
Have a seat. And then he snaps his fingers, and an elaborate, fancy meal shows up on the table. Good food. Delicious. Have some. It's not poisoned, I promise.
I don't think it's safe to eat food in the Fae. I
Tiny Marble Cakes is intrigued by the smell of the smoke from his tobacco. And of course, the fact that he made a bountiful meal just appear out of thin air. Which anybody would be intrigued by that.
So you look at the food, and without touching it, and you just examining the food, you do think it's real food. It's not like an illusion. You have no idea if it's poisoned or not. It looks, it's like a roasted pig with an apple in its mouth. All these fancy dishes just show up around. He's like, "Won't you?"
Tiax, thank you for this bountiful meal. I'm Dolrak. I'm with the Church of Saloon.
You cannot address me just like that. I am Tiax the Magnificent. I am like the magnanimous god of this temple. You are but a gnat beneath my boot. You must refer to me as the great Tiax. And you see he pounds on the table like he's quite clearly insane and very angry.
Pardon my rudeness, the great magnificent Tiax. I am still just a paladin from the Church of Saloon. What brings you here?
What brings me here? I rule all. I am Tiax, ruler of all.
Why did you bring us here?
Why? Well, you said it yourself. He looks at you, Dolrak. You're a servant of Saloon. And you can see he's clawing the table.
Yes, I am.
Well, he's like, "Why are you sitting so close to me with your big hammer and your bad breath? So, go sit over there." And he points to the seat over there.
He wants you to have some of his aura.
I want to share my stank with you, but as you wish. The great magnificent.
Yeah, great magnificent TX. I understand that you've been getting to know the town a lot better, and since I've been gone, and you rule all, it seems, but there seems to be less and less people in the town. So
I rule this town. The people who have come into this tower now serve me. They are part of the magnificence of TX. Magnificent.
Yeah, very magnificent. I mean, it seems that so magnificent that the lands around here are growing plentifully. Oh, but wait, they're not growing plentifully. Do you know why?
It's because it is because TX the Magnificent, TX the ruler of all, he controls the stream now. He says.
He
says.
Meow, meow. If Meow Meow control the stream, almighty TX, can Meow Meow remove the trout in the stream, Meow Meow?
TX has no time to deal with fishes. TX is so magnificent he only deals with the greatest of whales. And then TX looks at you, Tolan, and he's like, "I remember you when you were just a little lad. Oh, I do. I remember. I watched you as you grew up. I watched from afar because then TX was not as great. But then TX found absolute greatness. And I am glad you are here, Tolan. I'm so glad you are here. Because once you enter the Church of TX, once you enter the magnificence of TX, you will see what rewards can be offered."
I'm intrigued by these rewards. I'm intrigued how the other gnomes have been treated. Is it possible that we can see how they are doing and see what gifts you have bestowed upon them?
When you say this, he's like, so you want to see if they are well. You want to see how TX treats the servants of the great magnificence. And then TX leans down on the table. He kind of leans over to you with a maniacal smile. He said, "Your brother Warner loves it. Don't you, Warner?" And TX snaps his fingers, and Toland, you are absolutely flabbergasted. Your brother shows up right next to you. He shows up. He barely pays you any mind, and he starts eating. Yes, he came before you did. He loves it here. Warno wants to become the great disciple of Tiax. He wants to be the his second in command of Tiax's great army. But he says, well, perhaps my brother can do a better job. So Tiax said, I'll give your brother a chance. And Warno barely looks at you. He just sits there, keeps eating. Tolan, Warno was when you were growing up, Warno was not very nice to you.
No, he wasn't.
No, he was very mean to you and bullied you throughout your childhood and treated you pretty badly. However, you kind of look at him, he doesn't even recognize you. He doesn't appear to see anybody in the room except for Tiax, and he's just sitting there eating. And then Tiax once again turns to you, Tolan. He's like, or maybe you wanna see somebody else. There's somebody else you're thinking about. Tiax knows. Tiax snaps his finger again, and the mayor's daughter, Naihana, shows up sitting in that chair, which is why he wanted Dolrak to get out of that chair. Naihana, once again, not paying any attention to any of you, sits there eating. Tiax says, dig in, come on. And he starts eating.
Now, where do they normally stay there, Tiax? I mean, it's kind of weird that they just bamfed out of nowhere. You're powerful and all.
You underestimate the unquestionable otherworldly powers of great Tiax. When Tiax wants something to appear, it appears. When Tiax wants something to die, it dies. He jumps at you. You jump back for a second, and he's like, I'm just kidding.
Well, that's very interesting.
So you guys continue to eat, and Tiax says, so I'm interested in you, Tolan. I'm interested in you. But I couldn't pass up. I could not pass up the chance to get some Selenites in my tower. He looks at you and kind of cackles maniacally, Dolrak. And it appears that they're coming after you for some reason. I don't know why. I mean, Tolan, I don't know why you're traveling with them. They're probably gonna just dissect you. I'm probably gonna take you to Saloon and rip you apart or something. Not if I dissect them first, right, Tolan? Right?
Yeah, that could happen, but why do you have something to touch against St. Lunites, and why were you so interested in having them show up here? I can understand me. I mean, I am Poland, and I am great and everything, as I'm sure my brother told you about. But I'm just curious as to why you have such interest in the other...
Tiax is the ruler of all. Tiax has ultimate power. Tiax loves the souls of many different gnomes. Souls of you, and he points at Naihana, then he points at your brother Warno, and he's like, but the soul of a devout Selunite. Delicious. And he looks at you. He's looking at you, Dolrak, like he actually wants, like you're that pig with the apple in his mouth, and he licks his lips.
I'll give you something to chew on. It's called my battle blade.
Oh, why do you always have to resort to violence? You think you're gonna come in here into my tower and then you're going to attack me and you think you're going to save the princess, and he pokes Naihana. She falls down over in her chair on the ground, but motionless. You're gonna save the princess and you're gonna reconcile your problems with your brother, and he pokes Warnell. He falls down on the chair, motionless. Oh, you will be gnats upon the boot of the great Tiax. You will find out in short time that you will serve me. Ooh, you will serve the great Tiax. Or you will be served to me. And then the door slams shut.
Owen gives his brother a kick, see if he moves around. It's a rather hard kick because of some past aggressions.
Your brother kind of groans with the kick, but he stays motionless.
Okay, Norris is kind of startled by the door closing behind him, so he tries to open it. Will it open?
No, it won't.
How about the door beside him? He tries to open it.
That door does open, and it opens into the kitchen.
Whoops. Well, he'll open it and walk into the kitchen.
You walk into the kitchen. It's a room that holds a little hearth, and you can see that the fireplace. This is where the fireplace is. The fireplace, of course, has a chimney. There's a chopping block, a table full of food preparation, and you can see that some of that food that was on the table, it was prepared here. There's various utensils, pots, pans. They hang suspended from a cast iron rack on the ceiling above the table. A discolored copper tub with 2 wooden barrels, a crate, and a bin filled with assorted laundry occupy the rest of the room. Above the table, a row of 6 bells hangs from the cords that ascends through the holes in the ceiling. A door sits in the northern wall of this room. And all in all, it looks like a well-occupied, well-taken-care-of kitchen. Nothing really seems unusual.
I'm
You're kind of squeezing, you kind of have to squeeze through the doors because they're gnome-sized.
Oh, I'm checking this door out. Is it unlocked?
It's also unlocked. You open up the door. It's a storage room. So
keep opening it for me.
Yeah, it's a pantry. There's a whole bunch of smoked sausages. Smell really good. And haunches of meat that are hanging from the hooks in the ceiling. There's shelves along one wall that hold various tins, jars, and bottles full of food.
Is there anything in any of the barrels or anything that's interesting?
Most of it is salted fish.
And how about on the walls or anything? Do I see any kind of, let's say, secret passage? I mean, doors or anything else like that that's out of the ordinary on the walls in both of these rooms?
You don't have enough time to fully examine things to that detail, but from a first glance, you don't see anything.
Can I figure out what the bells are by looking at them?
Yes, they're servant bells. Like the servant will be in the kitchen, and then somebody's in the bedroom and rings the bell, and then they go off. They're a common thing seen in upper-class households.
Yeah, that's what I assumed, but I didn't know if I would know for sure or not.
Yeah, so nothing seems really out of the usual for just a nice living quarters here.
Okay, you can get back to the other conversation.
So Tiax is chuckling and laughing. He's like, you know what? I'll give you just some time to mull it over, Tolan. You think about it. You join the right side and you serve the great, magnanimous, all-powerful Tiax. Or you disappear in obscurity and I eat you.
And Tolan will pick up like a piece of fruit and he'll just throw it to him, thinking, I think
he
that's
says,
an interesting proposition. I have to think about it.
He says, you know, we're a lot closer than you actually would assume. Okay, Tolan, okay? I remember when you were a little squirt and you were running around, and this one over here, and he kicks your brother Warnell, this one over here started throwing rocks at you. Oh, I saw that. I was there watching. You thought, what do you think? It was a guardian angel? No, it was the great and magnanimous Tiax. I was watching. I saw how much he picked on you. I saw the terrible things he did to you. He says, and I saw you looking at the beautiful Naihana over here, and you were just dreaming, oh, you would have been such a good man for her. You would have been the best gnome in the world, and I saw Warno just push you aside and take her for his own. You remember that, don't you? Doesn't that make you mad? Doesn't that make you mad? And unfortunately, Tolan, somewhere deep inside there is a little bit truth of what he's saying, but he's clearly insane, and you don't know what the hell's going on with these two. And he says, "Well, let me tell you something, Tolan. Let me tell you something. Many centuries ago, there was a young boy, a lot like you, Tolan. The young boy nobody liked. You know, they thought he was weird. They thought he was an odd fellow. He's so small, and his magic is so weak. And they used to kick me. They used to throw rocks at me just like they threw at you. Oh, I remember that. They threw rocks at me. But then I told them, I'm gonna get you back. I'm gonna destroy you." And then I found an old book. And the old book talked about the powers of Serik. Serik? Oh yes, the god of lies. He taught me much, but they kicked, you know what they did? Just for bettering myself, they kicked me out of this village. Could you believe that? And then I traveled the realms, but I walked around and I realized, you know, I'm nothing. There is no I. There's only Tiax. And then I referred to myself. Tiax referred to himself as the third person, and I became the great Tiax, and I traveled the realms. Oh, so many things I've seen. So many things I've seen. I became so powerful when the magics I learned. Ancient magics. But all the powers of Serik, they were not enough for me. No, I abandoned that false god. I found me a new patron. And you can see his eyes turn kind of flash purple for a second.
That's an interesting trick you got there, TX.
Oh, I have even more interesting tricks to show you.
Patron, meow meow. Who's meow new patron, meow meow?
Was that Tiny?
Yeah, I didn't hear you.
Oh, sorry. She asked Tiax who his new patron is.
Oh, my new patron. Well, I wouldn't call her a patron. Oh, not quite. More like a partner, because there is nothing superior to the great Tiax. Tiax rules all, and Tiax is above all. But I have my uses for the dark shadow weave magic that you rest in thus. And he opens his hands, and he says the word shadow weave. Anybody who's got the highest arcana?
It's
Probably gonna be me.
Yeah, probably Tolan.
7.
+7. What do I got? I have a +4. Yeah, you would have the highest arcana, Tolan.
Shadow weave magic refers to the Shadowfell. The Shadowfell is a dark plane. It is the polar opposite of the Feywild. It is a plane created and ruled by Shar. And it is also ruled by a woman called, an evil dark woman called the Raven Queen. So now you realize when he says shadow weave, you realize that the magic used in this tower is shadow weave magic. It is an opposite and opposing force to the normal weave of magic. That is why you could not detect it. Shadow magic is extremely dangerous. Those who live in the shadow realm or the Shadowfell oftentimes cannot even maintain their sanity.
Well, TX, I like the story you share, but the thing that kind of gets me is you say you're all powerful, but yet you say you have a patron who gave you a lot of power. What? Doesn't that kind of mean that your patron's more powerful than you?
Nobody is more powerful than TX. TX simply makes people those who give TX the power think that they are in charge, but no, in secret, TX is in charge. He puts his hand up. It appears that he can't. He is so insane that he can't really follow your logic.
I look back at the group and like kind of perplexed. Oh, how do we want to handle this?
Well, Sir Tolan, I believe that you already have more patience with this cat than I would have the way he's treating your kinfolk. No matter what the past was with your brother or with this young lady, I believe that we need to teach this cat a lesson. He's messing around with souls, and my God does not like that when people mess around with souls.
That is very interesting. With that in, I kind of get the gist of your gab there, buddy.
Sir Tolan, maybe you can get through to your brother there. Smack him on the back or something. Let's wake him up from his obvious stupor.
I give him another kick and just try to look at his eyes, see if I see anything in his eyes. Try to read.
As you kick
read
him,
anything else.
he smiles to you and he says, "Tiax rules all, little brother." Not quite himself, but it does sound like him. You know, it sounds and looks exactly like him.
Well,
Did you say something, Dorlock? Because
Yeah, I said TX will never rule me.
Blasphemy! So what are you gonna do? TX says. You're gonna take up that big fancy rapier and try to drive it through my heart? You're gonna take up that axe and start chopping away? I guarantee you violence will get you nowhere. Violence will get you mad and buried in the ground. Go ahead, try it. Come on, I dare you. What are you, a wuss? You little wuss? Little wussy dwarf? Come on,
Sir
come on.
Tolan, are these actual real? Are they real, or are they perhaps an illusion like you cast for us before we entered the village?
Well,
that's what I was trying to read when I threw like a piece of fruit to tell him he
So-
had to
so-
process to see if he was real or not.
when you kick your brother, he's clearly not an illusion.
Yeah.
You don't know about TX. Nobody's touched TX yet.
Well, I kind of threw him a piece of fruit just to see if he ended up touching it or anything like that. And
It bounces off of him.
bounced off of him.
Yeah, so they do have physical substance to them. Whether or not they're real is, you don't know. But they clearly don't. Your brother's not acting normal, and Naihana hasn't said a single word. It's a big deal for you to just see her again because you had the biggest crush on her when you were younger. But she's not acting right.
If Dispel Magic wouldn't work on the building, but would Dispel Magic work on him if he's an illusion?
You can try it. It'll be a hostile action, and we will enter combat.
Okay. I'm only entering combat if everybody else wants to, so I'm not going to do anything at this moment.
All right, let's roll initiative, everybody. And let me roll my initiatives. There we go.
Seeing that the kerfuffle is about to start,
I guess. Oh, who's casting? Somebody's casting Dispel Magic, I guess.
yeah, Dolrak was casting the spell max.
Yeah, I was going to do that.
Who'd you cast? What'd you just cast the spell magic on? On
Tiax.
Alright.
Your brother's staring at you, and he's smiling. He has no weapons, though.
And
TX also appears to be unarmed.
Seeing that battle's about to begin, I can feel the rhythm of how it's going. I am going to cast, I'm going to start my blade song. I'll start humming a little tune. And I will now kind of get around my brother to go directly for this Tiax. Because I say to my brother, our fight is not about to begin between us, but we'll settle it later. And then I will attack with my rapier.
Tiax looks at you. He's still sitting down, not even defending himself, smiling, as you stab down with the rapier. You hit Tiax.
Alright, here's the damage. And then the second part of my attack, I am going to use the counter booming blade. In case he does move. I doubt he will, but that oh no, that's not how it works, sorry. Just I put the effect on myself. Okay, that's what it is. No. That's the wrong thing. Alright. The effect. Put the effect on myself, and then I will attack with a normal. Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm trying to. New character, trying to get this stuff straight. It was a hit. So there is this damage. And then there is the booming blade damage, which, yeah. Oh yeah, it already went through. Alright, and then I will then move back over to here.
They take no opportunity attacks against you as you move back.
Correct.
No, I mean, they even if they could, they choose not to. I know your ability lets you not to do that.
And that'll end my turn.
Tiny Marble Cakes are up.
Alright, let's
But no reaction of these guys.
so I can see what we're doing here. Alright, so I am going to use my bonus action to give Dolrak Bardic Inspiration.
Okay, Dolrak, you have Bardic Inspiration. Declare before you use it.
Okay.
Alright, so I'm just gonna drag and drop this on Dolrak's token. There we
Yeah.
go.
One effect is just a marker. The other effect is actually what you put on
Alright,
before
so
you
the top one's the marker and the
Yeah.
middle one's the
Yeah.
the one that, yeah. Alright, and I'll mark that out, and then I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna walk up to this guy, and just out of curiosity, I'm gonna cast a spell on him.
Go ahead. Tolan's brother, Warno, go ahead. Tolan jumps on the top of the table, I guess.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to move him.
I'm going to... Actually, you know what? Maybe I'll just target him. Let's see. So I'm going to target this guy, and then I'm going to cast Calm Emotions on him. So I'll hit this for myself. So I'm concentrating on it, and I'm going to drop it on this guy.
Tiny, you're feeding back. Like, you have noise feeding back into the microphone.
Alright, background noise, or...
No, the Sirenscape noise seems to be feeding into the microphone.
I'll dial Sirenscape back then.
Or
There we go.
headphones is the best thing. But go ahead.
Actually, yeah. But anyway, so I just dialed back my Sirenscape. Alright, so I cast Calm Emotions on that guy, and does that do anything, or?
Well, he wasn't aggressive to begin with. So you notice no change, obviously, because he He previously was not aggressive. He's not even armed.
I just wanted to see if that would do anything. Alright, I'm gonna end my turn.
So, Tolan, Naihana kind of turns around and looks at you. She's got this pleading look in her face. And you see she starts whispering She starts whispering, but you're not sure if it's coming from her mouth or some other location. But some sort of magical power starts emanating through the room. The people affected are Tiny, Tolan, and Dolrak. I am going to... Oh, I gotta do it like this. This is a saving throw.
What kind of saving throw?
A wisdom saving throw.
I get advantage on wisdom saving throw.
Yeah, so it should automatically give you advantage. Oh, I'm sorry. Tiny and that advantage really helped you out. I'm sorry, Tiny and Dolrak. You are charmed. Let me take the charm off of Tolan. Dolrak and Tiny. You kind of look around and you don't want to hurt these gnomes. You do get to re-roll saving throws at the end of your turns. Neris, you're up. Tiny and Dolrak, you look at these gnomes, and you're thinking to yourself, it would be really horrible if I were to harm these gnomes. I can't do it. There's some sort of magic that has affected you.
That was Nyana that casted that?
You don't know who casted that. Naihana's came and talked to you, but you don't know if she casted it. You can't tell in kind of the hoopla.
Oh, I thought you said her name.
Yes, Naihana looked at Tolan and tried to use her honeyed words. Tolan resisted. Unfortunately, the other two did not. Some sort of magic has infused into their minds, and they are charmed.
Okay, I'm going to... I was kind of confused because I thought you said Nana, and I thought, well, she already went once, so...
No, yeah, she did already go, but it seemed like she said something to Tolan.
Okay.
Maybe it was a delayed action. You don't know.
Oh, okay.
In the hoopla of the combat, you can't tell.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to cast Chaos Bolt. I'm going to twin it. And get rid of a couple of these points at Nyana for my first action. Here we go. It's a hit. So I gotta roll a d8 to see what damage to use. I use Psychic. Since I got doubles, it will bounce to another target, which I will pick Tiax. And I'll have to roll an attack against him.
It's a hit on Tiax.
And I'm not sure. I don't think it really says I have to roll the damage again. I think it does the same damage. Does that sound reasonable to you?
Sure, I can just apply the damage directly to him.
Well, I mean, I have to drop the damage on him, but I don't think I have to roll for a different kind of damage. I think it stays the same.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. And I did not get doubles that time, so And as a bonus action, I'm going to cast Watcher's Punishment.
Are you sure your Chaos Ball is 2d8 plus 1d6?
I just did what the let me look at it.
Because that's a kind of an odd damage combination. Did you mistakenly change it around?
That's Chill Touch. Wait a minute, let me open it up. Chaos Bolt, okay.
Yeah, because that's
you do on the hit on the target takes 2d8 plus 1d6 damage.
Oh, it is 2d8 plus 1d6. Okay.
It don't level up until you can cast it. Oh, I can upcast it, but I didn't upcast that one. So yeah, that's the correct damage. So as I was going to say, I'm going to cast.
So you have to roll the same number on both of the d8s. So you roll the same number on a d8 and d6.
If I roll doubles in the damage, then I get then the bolt goes to another.
Yeah, but the doubles have to be both d8s. One of the doubles is one of the d6s. You see.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. All right, that's fine. Keep going.
Okay. Well, I never noticed that it was a different die. Okay. So anyway, I'm going to cast my spiritual weapon. Fact. Stealth. Move the thing. I'm going to have it appear by T-Rex. Can I make that smaller? Yeah. And then I'm going to attack him with it. Okay, that's it.
Are you casting 2 spells in one turn?
That's a bonus action.
I don't think your Chaos Ball is not a cantrip, right?
No, Chaos Ball is a spell. So, but Spiritual Weapon is a bonus action.
Yeah, but it's also a spell. You're casting 2 leveled spells.
Well, then take that 9 points of damage off of him, I guess.
Yeah, well, I got to take that 14 off too because of you didn't actually double it, the Chaos Bolt.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
What is 9 plus 14? 23.
23.
There we go.
All right, now I'm just going back into this cubby hole here and pass my turn.
Dorak, you're up. Unfortunately, you're charmed, and you don't feel like you should injure these 3 gnomes. You think attacking them was very wrong. Magically, you have been charmed. At the end of your turn, however, you get to reroll the wisdom to break out of it.
Okay, I'm going to use Bless on me, Tiny, and Tolan.
Anything else on your turn?
And I am not going to do anything else.
Okay, end of your turn. Give me a wisdom saving throw. To cast off this charm. Unfortunately, you're still charmed. That it didn't have
Even
to be.
with Bless.
Yeah, you rolled a natural 2.
Ah. Oh, it didn't have to be.
Warnell is going to do.
the parchment.
He's going to continue eating. His emotions are very calm. Not that they weren't calm before, but even though
He's real calm now.
yeah, even though you guys are being hostile, he just continues eating. Tiax looks at all of you and he says, "Tisk, tisk, tisk, tisk. Always resorting to violence. Can't solve any problems except with violence." And then Tiax gets up He steps aside over here. And then he closes his eyes. He is holding an action. Naihana also holding an action. Tolan.
Nerys, what are you doing attacking the good nuns? You're supposed to be going after the one guy.
I can't hear you.
No, they all think they think all the no. No, Nerys is not even charmed.
Well, Nerys attacked my girlfriend. I'm yelling at him for attacking my girlfriend.
Tolan, you're not charmed, so you believe what you believe. You're not sure if she's your girlfriend or not.
Yeah, I don't know anything about them people because we just come in there and weren't introduced or anything like that, and they, I think she was mumbling something, so I kind of assumed she was the one that charmed our other guys. That's just an aside. I'm not yelling at you or anything.
Well, I'm trying to imply that we can't kill the other two. We can knock them out if we need to, but let's not kill them, please. And I'll try to do... Can I get through these guys, or is there too much of a
You're
wall?
on the table, I guess.
I'm trying to understand.
You're stepping on the pig.
I'm saying, can I get through this wall of people in front of me, or am I stuck where I am?
You can move through allies.
So Tiny, since Tiny's there, she's your ally, so I guess that means you can move through her.
Yeah, you'd have to squeeze in there, but you can move through her.
It's alright, Tiny Marble Cakes is pretty agile anyways.
I try to get over to here if I can, I guess.
You're fine because they don't. Warnell doesn't obstruct you as you go over there.
And I will then go forth and do a. Hang on. Booming. He did move, so he should have taken thunder damage. Sorry. Totally forgot about that. He takes 2d8 thunder damage when he moved. And then I will attack him once again with
Hold
my
on.
rapier.
Right before you attack him, he has a held action. His held action is activated. He transforms into this creature. And he attacks you right before you can attack him. The new Tiax, Shadow Vessel number 1, is going to
He
roll.
still maintains the damage that he already had?
He does.
Huh, well, that's good.
He takes advantage of a surprise. Actually, he doesn't have surprise attack. I'm sorry, you are attacking him, so I'm not going to punish you for that. He does have multi-attack slam. He's going to attack you twice with slam. That's a hit. Some damage. Second attack slam. That's a net 1. However, your girlfriend Naihana, she does get surprised because you're trying to protect her. She also is Shadow Vessel number 2. She gets surprise attack on you, which gives her like a 3d6 sneak attack type damage if she hits. Okay.
Miss.
Uh-oh. She's gonna get her surprise attack.
Pull up reaction shield.
You can do that.
Or am I not going to see this, so because it's a surprise?
Yeah, technically you are surprised, so you can't use a reaction against the surprise. Because you stated that you're trying to protect her. That's what's surprising you. That's why I'm giving you the punishment. She gets a second attack, but the second one is not at advantage, because now you know. Second one you can shield if you want, but I don't know if you can shield out of this. These creatures are featureless, humanoid, shape-shifting creatures. No mouth, no nose, just a pair of beady eyes. So these creatures have innate shape-shifting ability, which is why Dispel Magic doesn't do anything to them. Now, Tolan, you may continue your turn.
I moved over to there after I yelled at Neris, and then I just got attacked after I moved over here, and then like I look around, see different creatures than before, and I'm like, Neris, never mind, attack at will. I then will, attack with my rapier to the main creature.
That's a hit on Shadow Vessel number with a whiny attitude.
Yep.
Shadow Vessel with
That is accurate. That was Tiax.
That worked.
The creature goes down in a lump of black Icarus blood leaking on the floor.
And then I will cast Green Flame Blade with my rapier in hand onto...
Warnold Calm Emotions stops because you took out that creature.
Okay. Ooh, and I missed.
Wait a minute. He took out Tiax, not Warnold.
Yeah, but you hurt one of his allies. Calm Emotion stops when you do aggressive action towards the ally.
Which I didn't hurt him, but my comrade did.
Okay. And then...
that. Look it up.
Any bonus actions? No. That will end my turn.
If it witnesses any of its friends being harmed. Tolan very much harmed the previous DX. Tiny, you're up. Unfortunately, you are charmed right now. Still.
He also has Minor Illusion on. I don't know if that's for a reason. Tiny
that's from before. That's fine. Tiny, you're charmed, and you feel like attacking these creatures is a bad thing. You get to roll the save at the end of your turn, but you got to spend this turn realizing that. Oh, as you move away, Warno's going to opportunity attack you. And it doesn't break your charm, unfortunately. Warno...
Actually, no. I'm going to take the disengage action.
Okay. Then Warno won't do anything.
I guess, do I have to push anything in Fantasy Grounds, or no?
No.
I'm just gonna go back over to here, and then I'll end my turn.
Roll a Wisdom saving throw to throw off the charm.
Sure.
You also do not cast off the charm. It's a powerful charm.
Why aren't you guys attacking? Get these things out! We gotta end these things!
Tolan, I got some bad news for you. From the wall behind you, a rapier sticks through. I won't roll surprise on this one, at least. A magical rapier sticks right through the wall from behind you. Ouch, Tolan.
Oh.
Neris, you're up.
Okay. Neris is going to step back into the room.
You look at Dolrak and Tiny, and they're like, "But these gnomes are so good," and they're pointing to these horrific, featureless creatures. And you just saw a rapier slide through the wall and jab Tolan in the leg. And the rapier's like releasing powerful cold magic.
Okay, so I look around and I see a puddle of pudding on the floor by that door back there. I see that the young lady has turned into a amorphous blob of something or another, and I see my good friend Tolan back there bleeding profusely. And I'm like, what in the heck
And
happened here?
worst of all, you see Dolrak and Tiny kind of looking at you like, why are
I
we
see
attacking?
Dorak and Tiny like getting out of the deck of cards, getting ready to play it, and I'm like,
They're like, why are we attacking these good gnomes? Why are we the bad people?
So I am going to cast Healing Word. I'm going to use what's it called? Twin Subdued Quicken spell, so I can cast it as a cantrip.
Healing Word's already a bonus action, so what are you quickening it for?
To make it a cantrip, I can cast a regular spell after I get done.
Can you make a bonus action spell a cantrip with Quicken spell?
It's a class 1 spell.
That I didn't think you could do.
I don't know if you can do. Can you make? Look that up.
All right.
Oh well.
No, you can't really.
I see what you're talking about now.
You can't make a bonus action spell a cantrip.
Okay.
You can't quicken a bonus action because the bonus action is already a bonus action.
Right. But I could. Okay, so I'll go ahead and cast Healing Word. Cast level 2. I'm going to cast it as a level 2, and hopefully try to help my buddy back there by the corner.
Oh, he needs it.
That was better than nothing, I guess. So I can cast a cantrip then now, right?
You can cast a cantrip and that's it.
Okay, so I will cast Chill Touch at the Shadow Vessel number 2.
I remember Chill Touch is neither chill nor touch.
Right. So it's a
Yeah.
hit.
It does necrotic damage instead of cold damage.
Okay. Alright, so that's about all I can do for right now, so I'm going to back into my little cubbyhole here.
Dolrak,
Scream at my buddy, say, come on, help him out, help him out!
Dolrak, unfortunately you're charmed. You're not going to be wanting to attack these prior artists formerly known as gnomes.
Right.
But you can still take your turn. And at the end of your turn, you roll that wisdom save, DC 16.
Okay. As I'm ending my turn now, I'm going to use the Bardic Inspiration for my saving throw.
It's the end of your turn, so do you want to do anything on your turn, or just want to...
No, because I got to hold my concentration for my bless.
Okay. So Tiny, Dolrak is using his Bardic Inspiration now.
And I can't do a lay on hands because that's a touch spell.
Yeah, you can't really get in there.
And I can't, there's a magical weapon and I'll get attack of opportunity.
Well, the magical weapon's
Not there.
not really there.
Okay.
I just didn't took it off because I figured I'd cast it sooner or later, but...
Okay.
Alright, so you're using your Bardic Inspiration for your save?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna drop it on you now. There you go.
Okay. You said that's wisdom?
It's wisdom saving throw. DC 16. You can just roll it open, it's fine. Saving throws can all be rolled open. 27! You cast off that charm. 20 freaking 7. Okay. I'm removing the charm.
Beat your shield, buddy.
Yeah. And then you can remove the Bardic Inspiration too.
It automatically goes. Oh no,
it's still on
the
there.
marker stays though. So the marker you gotta take off. Warnell, he sees that you've cast off the charm. His true colors show. He's gonna leave your range, Tolan. You can take an opportunity attack if you wish. He jumps on a table and attacks Dolrak.
Yeah. As a warcaster, I can cast a spell when he does that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I will do Booming Blade, which is a attack, and
Does it have to be? I think it has to be a cantrip, but I think for the opportunity attack, right?
oh, Booming Blade is a cantrip.
Yeah.
So,
I'm just making sure it has to be a cantrip.
Yep. If it lands at that, okay, then I will put the Booming Blade. I did that wrong, but do that and roll the damage. And then if the target moves, he will get some thunder damage. So
Okay, he's gonna move 5 feet to attack Dolrak.
and he takes the thunder damage. So.
All right, completing his turn, he's going to do 2 slams on Dolrak. He does not get that surprise, however. Both miss.
I love that sound.
I do too.
Shadow Vessel number 2 is attacking you, Tolan. He gets 2 slam attacks, however, no surprise this time. Two misses. Tolan, you're up.
Someone's gonna move over to next to both of these creatures.
Tolan, something from across this wall opportunity attacks you as you move out of its range.
Oh, hell.
But luckily that thing misses. You continue your turn.
I don't even notice. Alright,
Well, you do notice after you moved out that the rapier just went through the little slit in the wall again, but you just dodged out of the way as you...
Alright. I'll attack the shadowy vessel number 2 with a hit. There's the damage. I will then cast Green Flame Blade and do the attack on the same creature. So that we do the damage, fire damage, and then leaping damage jumps to the other creature that is also next to it. And then I will run away a little bit.
If you run there, you're taking opportunity attacks.
My mobile feet.
Oh, yes, I forgot about the mobile feet.
Mobile feet lets me be a little nimble and not take those opportunities. And I'll come over here, and that will end my turn.
Tiny, you're up. You are still under the charmed effect.
Alright, I'm just gonna walk over to Tolan, and then Tiny Marble Kicks will be like,
Attack those creatures!
Okay.
now we'll target Tolan and cast Cure Wounds.
Much appreciated.
There you go. You got a lot of healing in this party.
And then I will end my turn.
Roll a wisdom saving throw at the end of your turn to throw off the charm. Oh, I'm so sorry. You're still charmed.
That 18 was there and I rolled over.
Yeah.
From behind the wall, you hear some footsteps. Naris, you're up.
Okay, I'm going to move into the doorway. I can see Shadow Vessel number 3, and I'm going to once again cast Chill Touch at him. a hit. And then I am going to move back and pass my turn.
Dolrak, now you are free to act. Finally, you look around. You're like, how did I? Why was I speaking out for these creatures?
What's going on?
You look at
So
these
I'm
two
going to-
horrible freaking humanoid, featureless creatures bearing down at
Where'd that girl go? I'm going to go ahead and use my regular heirloom battle axe. To hit.
Oh, Tiny, the charm effect has ended.
Oh, because Dolrak just killed the person that cast it?
No, well, you don't know why, but it ended last turn.
Oh. Okay, so that must have dropped concentration on it. Either way, it ended.
So for my extra attack, I will attack Shadow Vessel 3. Another hit. I'm going to go ahead and use a Divine Smite, first level.
That is 2 for 2.
And he's dead.
You've eliminated these horrific creatures. Something was stabbing at Poland from the back wall. You look over there and you see a sword-sized slit across the wall. And you see it's a painting, and you can see the eye holes behind the painting are hollow. It's a painting of the previous the previous owner, Tableau. And you see that there's 2 eye holes that have been kind of hollowed out.
Can you bust through that painting, Dorlock?
I got my battle axe.
Dolak, would you like to use your enormous strength to slam through this wall?
Sure.
You can do athletics and just slam through that wall if you want.
In the parchment.
It doesn't matter because the results are going to be obvious. Either you're going to break your shoulder or it's going to...
Okay.
Doesn't
I'm
matter.
already a chill touch spell. Are we still in combat?
You're out of combat now.
Okay, I'm going to ready a chill touch spell to blast something that's on the other side of that painting.
Sure. You can ready an action.
You going to assist my roll there, Neris?
I can give you... I don't know, guidance don't... What is it, a check?
It is a skill check.
Yeah, I can give you guidance on that.
Okay.
Nolan, realizing he's in for a little bit of action more than he expected, he's going to get mage armor on himself.
Dolrak, you hurt your shoulder. This is solid wood you're trying to bust through. Unfortunately, you're not able to bust through it. You take the painting down, and there are just a bunch of holes that have been kind of soldered through. You look on the other side, and it's just darkness.
Well, there's a door over there.
Even with dark vision,
I'm gonna have to give you D6 damage because you ran into the wall.
He can't even see anything with night vision through those holes.
You see.
I don't want to get poked in the eye.
Okay, so are you putting your eye up to the? I guess.
No.
Well, you got to put your eye up to it to see what's on the other side.
I'm not poking. Get my eye poked out.
Nolan's gonna investigate the door over here. See if there's anything. Any traps on the door?
Do not appear to be any traps on the door. The door has no lock.
With rapier in hand, he kicks the door open, or the old door.
You kick the door. I mean, this is all the tower itself is kind of well furnished, so you can't kick the door down. Except even with Dolrak, You have to roll real high to actually kick the wood down, but you kick the door open, kick the lock off its hinges, and you look inside. It appears to be another long hallway. They look like servant quarters. It's a narrow, nondescript hallway. It's got 2 doors, and they look like servant quarter doors. And then at the end, there's another door in this hallway.
Well, guys, I'm itching to find out who freaking stabbed me in the back next from that wall.
Whoever stabbed you, their weapon was magical. It left an aura of cold damage. Like, this was clearly somebody skilled.
I think, once again, I'm just gonna kick doors open after I first check for traps.
You kick a door open. This is a servant's quarters that you open. It's just a very plainly furnished room. It's got a chest in the corner. You open the chest is open and empty. There's a painting on a wall of a land, like a mountain.
Do I remember
painting?
There's no eye holes in the painting.
I put my
Now
right
might
here
be a
at
good
it.
time to go back to the kitchen and check that wall for the secret entrance.
Well, I checked for secret doors and stuff when I was in there.
He said you didn't have time to find out if there was one.
I'll go back and check again. Or I'll ask Tiny to, because she's better.
Yeah, whoever has the investigation or
Yeah, tell me where you're checking specifically.
be the north wall.
The walls in the little pantry.
Okay, can you give me the investigation roll?
Sure. Wait, Tiny.
All right, so Tiny's gonna take a little look with his cat, with her cat-like eyes.
Okay, Tiny.
Alright, you're giving me guidance? Good. Alright, investigation.
Roll big or go home.
I'll roll in the tower.
Tiny catches it. There's a little panel at the north wall that shifts out.
Can Tiny hear anything behind that panel?
I'm trying to remove that panel, and the map is giving me some issues. I don't know why.
It doesn't say They don't say door or anything when you.
No, it's not supposed to, because that would be giving it away for you guys. Well,
that's
but it's supposed to
have a dollar sign.
Yeah, it's supposed to have something for me to remove, but
Oh, I see.
it's not letting me remove it either, and I'm wondering why. Yeah, how come I can't remove it either? No, you should.
Hit control.
Control doesn't do it for me. No, I'm supposed to just be able to, because there's the DM vision that I'm supposed to be able to see, and I don't see it in my DM vision either. I'll have to go to the wall layer in itself. Let's see if I can. How do I remove the very wall layer? All right, let me try this. I'm gonna have to redraw the line then. Oh, what a headache. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna draw this. This is frustrating. Hold on.
Can you shift drag us into it?
Yeah, but that doesn't quite work very well if I do that.
Oh, I see.
This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna redraw the line and then erase the prior one. That's the best way to do this. There we go. So you slide off this wooden panel in the back, which is a false door, which is a false wall, and it opens up to like this passageway that surrounds the living quarters that you were in before.
Does it Tiny hear anything? Oops.
Silence, Tiny. You don't hear anything.
Dorlock, you want to peek through there and you're the most armored one?
Yeah, we want to. Did anybody look for traps?
I rolled investigation, and that's how I found the secret entrance.
Hold them both down this other door because he's in a little bit of a angry mood.
Hey,
Other
Dawn,
door
we
busts
found a way
down.
in.
It's another servant's quarter.
Wait, what was that, Neris?
We found
You
a
guys
secret
found
panel over
something?
here.
I
Come
don't
around
know.
here so you can hear me. Oh.
Well, I figure I can hear you through a door.
Alright, well, I guess I'll walk through if there's no traps.
I still have the charmed effect, but I can't seem to deactivate it.
I have to do it.
Okay.
It's a DM applied effect.
Okay. So it won't. Alright.
So you realize that there's a secret kind of passageway that surrounds the interior that you were just in, and there's there's some signs that because the floor is very dusty, but you see some footprints all around the floor back and forth, that people were watching you from back there, and it's very obvious where the little peepholes are as you get to the back area. You can see that in every single room, there's a peephole from this secret area into the room. Very carefully hidden.
Can we see which way the footprints are leading out of here? Since there's nobody left in here?
There's actually several sets of footprints leading every which way. So the footprints look like there's more than one character involved.
Does any of the footprints look like they go to a wall and then do not continue?
Nothing like that. You see footprints kind of just circling the area. You see that there are some areas they have like these little slits along the walls where a sword can fit through. That's actually where Tolan got stabbed.
I say we go ahead and head east across this top corridor, and then we'll go south from there.
Alrighty.
You get to the east, and you look all the way south. There's a ladder that goes up.
I see a ladder down here, guys. You want to go down here and see where it leads? Besides up. Does it lead up or down?
It leads only
Looks
up.
like it leads. Okay.
It is a tower.
You look at the ladder. It's kind of against. It leads up to a hatch, and the hatch is closed.
You say it was locked?
Well, you have to climb up there to find out.
Oh, I didn't know you cut out. I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's about 8 feet up, but there's a hatch that the ladder leads to. The hatch is closed.
Somebody also have to, if it's locked, somebody else will have to go up, because I won't be able to unlock it.
Tiny, I think you're best suited for climbing and unlocking and that kind of stuff.
Is there like a keyhole to the latch, or can like Mage Hand possibly try to push on it? I can't Mage Hand to try to push on the hatch or latch.
The latch is firmly stuck.
Okay.
You'd have to go examine it to find out if it's locked or not, or what's going on with it.
Alright, well, Tiny Marble Cakes will climb the ladder and check out the latch.
Tiny Marble Cakes and everybody else dexterity saving throw.
Alright. Can I use a charge on my Ring of Evasion?
Yes.
You want this in the tower?
It's not doesn't have to be in the shower.
Saves don't go in the tower. Just checks.
Okay. Checks in the mail.
Okay, what do we got here?
I got 25.
25. Dolrak, you scored a nat 1.
Man, Dolrak.
Everybody except for Dolrak got above 16, which is the DC, as the ladder dematerializes and turns into a lightning bolt and shoots down the corridor.
Ooh.
38 is what Dolrak takes. Everybody else takes half. I'm sorry. This very unpleasant. Okay, half of 38
Is 19.
The script is not working, so I'll just have to punish you manually. 19, 19, and then Poland 14 plus 19. That's like 30.
38.
No, 14 plus 19.
Oh.
Hold on, let me just do this. I'll just write 19.
32.
There we go. Oh, 32. All right. The ladder was trapped, and a powerful high-level lightning bolt shot right through, leaping from one of you to the other, and you guys smelled singed hair as the lightning bolt just turned into ash.
My damn beard!
Let me look at everybody. I'm going to cast Mass Heal.
Someone got knocked on his butt. I'm like, what'd you do, Tiny?
So if I
Meow meow.
target everybody.
Picturing a cat with like fringed whiskers and its tail's all fringed,
The Dorlock,
singed.
Tara's, Tiny, and Tolan. Okay, and I'm going to cast this as a. Let's see what I got left up here. I should have much left. So I'm going to cast it as a 4th level spell, which will make it a little bit more powerful and hopefully help us because we need it. That helped a little bit. Everybody get healed up? Yeah, everybody got healed up some.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you want to do
The
next?
The ladder gone.
Ladder's gone. There's a hatch about 8 feet up in the air, on the ceiling.
Did we look down the other hallway? Was there another hallway on the west side?
Yes, you can go there. It's all communicating.
Can we use rope and climb up?
It's a sealed hatch. Like the door of the hatch is closed.
I think, yeah, Tolan would just check and look down the other hallway to see if he sees anything. He's not going to advance. See anything down the hallway?
You see the footprints in the dust, though you don't see any. You obviously along the walls you see these little peepholes.
Alright. Rapier in hand, he'll slowly move forward, looking for anything that doesn't seem right.
Well, I got everybody targeted. I need to do that.
The hallway makes a bend over.
You see anything on over here?
Yeah, and you notice that over here, it ends in a wall, but the wall is obviously a sliding panel that you can slide away.
Well, how about the other way that you went, Tolan? Was there any other rooms or any other doors that needed to be open in the east wing over there?
I just saw servant quarters, and when you told me there was a secret passage, I thought that was more important than the last room I was
Right. But do you think we need to look at that further, closer?
Maybe. Probably wouldn't hurt. And then, but there is apparently a sliding panel over here. So,
Yeah.
let's back up this time, and I'll try to use Dacian to slide that door open. But,
Well, that panel
behind the wall.
dining room, right?
Yeah, the panel.
This one here leads into the hallway. The
Yeah, it leads
entrance.
into that little
Yeah,
hallway.
so this sliding panel easily is slid away because it's obvious. So let's see, did I draw this right? There we go. You slide it open and it leads into this little room, and you look out. You can see that this room has this little hole, but the hole seems to be completely blocked up, but even though you can put your finger through it. So there is a finger-sized illusion there that looks like wall. And you look through the hole, you can actually look through it from this side, and it's the entrance hall. You see that there's a magical ward back on the entrance door. And there's a magical ward there's a ward. Whoops. There's a magical ward back on the door that you walked in. You're not going out that way unless you can deactivate whatever ward is there to begin with. And there's also a magic ward on this door. From this side, you can see it's some sort of trapped magic if you tried to open it.
Okay.
You recognize it as a glyph of warding if you try to open that door. This door is sealed completely off, just like it was before you guys came in. So you guys you're really trapped here. But luckily, because you were smart enough to come back here, you recognize that this door is trapped with a glyph of warding from this side. The minute you open this door, the glyph of warding is going to go off and hurt you and explode in your face. It's written on this side of the door, so it's hard to. You can't see it from the other side.
All right, guys. I think we should go check out the other room and then figure out maybe a way to get upstairs.
So good news is there's a trap there. Bad news is you are trapped in this tower.
Hey, why am I stuck?
You gotta go to the corner.
Oh, okay.
So these rooms, now that you've been on the other side of them, you recognize that there's behind that painting there was a little kind of trap, and this room also has a couple of holes, like peepholes to look through.
Can we carry the dresser and the 2 chests with us out there and climb up on them to get to the hatch?
Yeah, sure, you could do that.
Did you open that door in front of you, Tolan?
I'm about to.
Okay.
I inspect the door real quick before I do anything.
Okay, roll me investigation on the door.
Inspect the door.
The door handle looks a little odd. Like there's a little there's some sort of the door handle is a little bit off, like a little tilted. Like it's a little weird.
Hey, Tiny, can you disarm traps?
I'm about to grab the handle. I'm like, whoa, this doesn't look right. And then I will back away from the door. You can get a tiny room to try to open the door down below.
Okay, so the door is obviously trapped, right?
Well, it's not obvious, but Tolan recognized that it was probably trapped.
All right, would he convey that information to the rest of the party, or?
Yeah.
I would think so.
All right, let's see.
Unless he's a jolly joker, practical joker or something.
No, not from the trap that you guys activated before. It's not a good time to joke around.
Really?
Yeah, the time for joking is a little bit dumb.
Okay, traps. Yeah, I don't really have any.
You actually do. I gave it. It's part of your character stuff.
We talked about that before, I think.
Yeah, you gave me...
Your mother left you a set of wonderful magical gloves.
Yeah, those gloves of thievery. Now, okay. If I put them on... No, I'm seeing 2 effects. One gives me a, +5 to Thieves' Tool, and one of them is a +5 to Sleight of Hand. Does it matter?
Thieves' tools is what you use to disarm the trap.
All right, so I will.
Sleight of hands is what you might be using to like pickpocket or something.
Yeah, so I'll put the gloves on, put that effect on myself, and then I will go. Is it the door to the south? That's.
Yeah.
All right, I will go there and I will try to disarm the trap with thieves' tools.
Okay, go ahead. Roll the thieves' tools.
All right.
Oh, that was my finger. That wasn't a piece of bacon.
Alright, thieves'
We
tools.
heard her say that.
There they are. Okay, thieves' tools. Now, how do I roll a thieves' tools check?
It's one of your skills.
Okay, skills. Let's see.
They're down at the bottom.
Thieves' tools. Perfect.
So I already gave you +5 to your thieves' tools, assuming you're wearing the gloves of thievery.
Alright, so I do that. I roll a check.
You should, yeah, you got +10. You shouldn't have gotten +10 because you doubled up on the bonus because you already get +5. I just wrote it into your skills, and then so you didn't really need the effect. But an 18, not a 28, 23 would have been enough. You're able to carefully disassemble the handle without turning it, and the handle drops off, and you can see that there are daggers hidden behind the handle. And the daggers would shoot out if you twisted the handle the wrong way. You're able to kind of gently remove the daggers and knock the mechanism out of the way, so the door just kind of swings open. And on the other side is a spiral staircase leading up. This is the lowest floor of the spiral staircase.
Fix the door, meow meow.
Stairs.
Good job.
That kind of makes more sense for an old man to use the stairs instead of trying to take the ladder every day, I think. Hopefully there's nothing along these stairs when we go up it. So.
They're magical stairs and they disappeared. Well, lead the way, or do you want me to lead the way?
Dorak, maybe you go a little bit first. I still feel a little sore from that way. And then we'll follow
Where am I?
Dorak up.
I'm doing a map transition.
Oh, okay.
All right, your tokens are packed into this thing. Hold on.
Yep.
They're so packed in I can't reach the thing.
Could make them smaller, I guess. For now, anyway. There.
So the spiral staircase, for some reason, we walk up to the second floor, and you see that the spiral staircase does continue to a third floor. However, everything from the second floor above is like this illusion that your hand just goes through. Like you can't, it has no physical substance, like you can't get to the third floor from here.
What is this goblin trickery? Stolen?
The old man, the inventor, he did some weird shit. Not gonna lie, he was into some weird shit. And who knows if this was from him or from whatever the other guy has done, so. Rapier in hand, I say we get ready to see what's on the other side of the door.
Okay, Sir Stolen, I'll happily follow you.
You check the door. It doesn't seem to. There's a handle on it. It doesn't seem to be trapped. From what you're seeing.
I mean, no surprise that we're here, so kick the door in.
You kick the door open, and it opens up to a long hallway. There's several doors emanating from the hallway. The hallway also has kind of two sides, two ends. One of the hallways has a double door,
So that's where we go, to the double door room.
Double door. Anything else you want to?
The double doors are kind of sliding doors. They have a handle. They don't have a lock.
Somebody wants to check for traps.
Hey, Tiny.
Yeah, Tiny Marble Kicks will go and investigate it for traps.
You take a good look. Doesn't appear to be trapped.
Are they locked?
There's no lock on the door.
I kind of don't want to get snuck up on, so I think I would try to investigate the door behind or right next to me and just take a peek in there. I don't expect it to be a big room at all.
This door does have a lock, but as you kind of mess with it, it is not locked. But it does have a lock on it. You open the door up. There's a fireplace. It's unlit. It's a small, appears to be a well-furnished guest room with a bed in it.
Take a quick look, check under the bed, see if I see anything unusual about this room.
No, it doesn't seem like anybody's been here for a while.
Is there a fire in the fireplace?
Fireplace is out.
Look in there and then check for paintings and eye slits and all that jazz. Make sure I don't get stabbed.
You don't see. You kind of carefully look around after being stabbed before. You're pretty careful about being near door walls and stuff. But from visual inspection, you don't see anything like that. But then again, it's so much easier to see when you're on the other side. When you're on this side, because of the decorations on the wall, the bricks, you don't see anything like that.
Well, I'll check this door that I'm standing by then, since he did that.
It's another guest room. The bed looks to be recently made, but it looks like somebody slept here at some point. No clues of who it was. The room otherwise is empty. There's an empty piece of parchment on the desk. And an ink pen, but looks like maybe somebody wrote a letter or something, but there's nothing here indicating what it was or who it was.
So I'll just pick up the parchment and give it to Tolan and see if he can make anything of it or have any use for it.
I look at it, investigate. Is there anything?
It's a piece of letter parchment used to write letters and stuff, but nothing seemed magical about it.
Okay.
Well, you want to check those other 3 doors or go in this room?
Right here, might as well go in this room.
Before we go in, guys, I do have other known friends in here. We have to identify who the bad guy is, but we can't just kill all the gnomes. Just to let you know that, but we do have to be a little bit careful about who we're destroying in here. That's all. Those 2 people that we thought were gnomes are 2 people I have history with, and I want to make sure they come out of the tower alive.
Yeah, one of those charmed 2 of our party members.
But the real one wouldn't do that.
Well, maybe they're charmed.
Tiax, meow meow. Violence is not always the answer, meow meow.
What was that, Tiny?
She said violence is not the answer.
Not always.
Depends on what the question is. Okay, we'll be careful. Has anybody got a sleep spell or anything? By any chance?
No.
Nope.
No. Maybe we'll have to use non-lethal force against them at first. Lose
You
it.
gave.
Okay, we
Yeah.
understand, but of course we're going to protect ourselves. Do the best we can.
Are you gonna kick the? Well, you can't kick it. It's a sliding door. You gotta slide it. Slide them open both sides.
Good. Tiny, the door is safe, you say?
Yeah, it seems safe from what you when you took a look at it.
Alright then. Tolan will. I got this, Tiny, and I will dramatically slide both the sliding doors open.
You slide the door
Yeah.
open, it opens up to a parlor. There's a plush rug that covers a large portion of the room. There's a bunch of billiards tables that stands next to the rug. A sofa, two cushioned armchairs with a footrest. There's some glasses, and you see as you open the door, there's about a dozen gnomes in here. All of them, some of them you kind of recognize. They're people from the town. You see your brother among them. You see Naihana. They all turn all at once to look at you as you open the door. With this however, none of them possess any faces. When they look at you, they have those empty shadow vessel-like faces with empty eyes as they stare at you. And then you kind of like do a double take and the room is completely empty. It looks like there was one gnome shooting pool and then the pool stick just falls to the ground and glasses clang to the ground. Fireplace is raging hot. Couple of decanters with wine on it.
I think Tolan will enter cautiously into the room. Try to go where, like, maybe one of them was standing, see if there's anything, like footprints or whatever.
There are footprints in the room, like it seems like it's been occupied recently. The seat actually is still warm. You see a piece of parchment that is folded up and put underneath one of the glasses. It looks like the parchment that was from the letterhead.
Hey, Tiny, can you come over and check out this door?
So Tiny Marble Kicks is gonna look at this door, check it for any traps or anything out of the ordinary.
You actually hear birds chirping outside the door. You think it's a balcony door. It's also a sliding door. You don't see any traps on it, though.
Trap. Meow meow. Thanks. The balcony door. Meow meow. Meow meow. Hear birdies. Meow meow.
Balcony.
Does it make
And then Tolan tries to remember if there was a balcony outside the tower when we came in.
No, there wasn't. The tower was 4 stories tall. You did not see a balcony. You saw some windows that were shuttered.
I reply that back to Tiny. There are no balconies on this tower, Tiny.
But Tiny, you hear birds chirping outside. They're the same birds you heard when you actually came to the town.
Why meow meow? Hear birdies. Meow meow. Then.
And I, as an example, cast minor illusion just to make a bird sound. And like the same way I can do that. It could be real. Good chance it's not though. Tolan will take a look at the piece of parchment, see if he reads anything off of it.
The piece of parchment has a simple statement written on it in a very delicate hand. The statement says, "Sleep. Sleep and you shall find me."
Like that's gonna happen.
I'll go around here and check these doors while those guys are in there. I'll check these.
Is Tiny Marble Kicks familiar with billiards?
Sure, why not?
Because I was gonna say, like, okay, she'd be intrigued by the billiard table, wondering like, okay, what's this all about?
I'm not sure if there's billiards in Faerun, but they're on this map, so yes. Yes, it's a game that's relatively common.
Olin checks his door. He seems to go out the hallway. If there's nothing, he'll open it up.
Yeah. Nars will check this other door too.
It's another guest room, also relatively empty. Looks like recently been slept in. The bed is partially made. And the last, yes, now you have 4 guest rooms.
Well, I think we're supposed to go to sleep, you guys. We got 4 beds, 4 party members.
Intrigued by the other door that you said you heard birds out of. So when you wanna, Dorak, you wanna open that door?
Was it locked?
It's not locked. It's a sliding door.
What do you see out there?
You open the door and a blast of cold air comes in. It is indeed a balcony. You look over the balcony and you apparently are about 500 feet up in the air. The tower, it looks like, is 500 feet up in the air, even though when you entered it, it clearly wasn't. It was 4 stories. And you're looking down at the town of Thistledore. There's some like, you know, there's some little forest birds flying beneath you. Unless you had Featherfall, you don't think you'd survive this kind of a drop.
Hey, Tola, come here and look and check this out. Look how far we are.
This is baffling him. It doesn't make sense to him. He's like, what? What magic is at play here?
Meow meow.
Hey, cats have 9 lives and always land on their feet. Can we throw Tiny off? I was kidding.
And then Tiny Marble Cake, if you're saying that in character, I guess Tiny Marble Cakes will kind of like joke back, like,
Don't be mean, meow meow.
and then she'll like give him a little pat on the shoulder.
Mm-hmm. Well, we need to figure something out. So, was there any more levels above us on the stairs, or do you say this was as far as we could go?
The stairs continue up. However, like I said, it turns into a insubstantial illusion.
Okay.
The stairs that lead up.
Okay. Well, guys, what do you think? What should we do? Sleep?
I'm trying to understand this magical balcony. It seems.
Well, you look up and you're down. You can roll an Arcana check at this point to kind of gauge the type of magic at play here. You're not really sure what's causing this, but you know, you're clearly not on the same plane as Thistledore. That's why the distance to Thistledore seems really odd, really, really far. You clearly are somewhere phasing between planes.
I keep investigating this room, not trying to put 2 and 2 together. I don't like this sleep option. I told the other group about it. Like, hey, the thing says sleep and we'll see who we're dealing with. And
yeah, that's quite a risk. But you guys can take a nap. These beds are here for you. Obviously, this may be playing right into Tiax's schemes.
Yep.
Tiny Marble Cakes will admire the view from the balcony for a little while longer, and then she will reunite with the rest of the group.
So, Naris, what's your take on this?
Well, I mean, I'm not a gnome. I don't know about gnomish magic. I don't know much about the Fae or the Fae magic, but I'm thinking if we're wanting to get anywhere, we need to probably take a nap.
Before we do that,
What
Okay.
if only
I'm gonna
one of us takes a nap?
list that hatchway that we saw before.
Yeah.
Can we try to get our bearings and try to figure out maybe where that possibly is and see if we can find a way to get there?
Well, we
Like,
could go back
what-
down and do what Dorlock suggested, and move some furniture there to try to get that open. Of course, hopefully there's still not another lightning bolt left.
Like,
Okay.
it was,
You can go mess with that that hatch on the floor below you, of course.
I mean, no, I'm gonna say, like, isn't this a bedroom, like, right near there? Start investigating around this.
So he's thinking, can we
door.
find a place where the hatch would have come up?
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm gonna look around on the walls, see if there's, like,
Yeah, right there on that wall there to the south.
Oh,
Would
now
be a
that you
good
know
place to
now
look.
that you know what you're looking for, you roll the investigation with advantage.
Yeah, you do it. Roll initiative. Is that what you
Initiative.
said?
No, investigation with advantage.
Oh,
investigation.
And then
With
we roll
advantage.
initiative when the monster jumps out. Okay, I like that. I like that thinking. That's very intelligent, very good in how you thought about this. I want to give it to you, even though you failed that check. And you get inspiration. You get inspiration also for just thinking of that.
pretty good,
That's-
Tolan.
yeah, Tolan.
I
Yeah.
got Tolan.
You the
Someone's
man.
kinda smart. Someone's kinda
So you find the sliding panel from this area. Now that you know what you're looking for, and you do indeed see the other end of this hatch. Now the other end of the hatch, of course, there's a really heavy weight, like a bunch of stones put on top of it to keep it closed.
Well, that would have been hard to get open.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been impossible, but you think that whoever did this is clearly trying to keep you down here, try to keep you from going up that hatch. There's another ladder that goes to the floor above here.
There's another ladder, guys. Bye.
Well, let's let Tiny test it for, and I can give her guidance to see if it's trapped this time.
Yeah, I think I'll do that.
Okay, Tiny, you can go ahead and
Wait, I got to get my guidance. Or she could just add the +4. 'Cause I'm having, where's it at? There it is. Okay, Tiny, here you go.
Alright, so I have guidance, so I just roll an investigation check to look for any traps.
Yeah, investigation on this ladder.
Alright.
This ladder seems pretty normal. Doesn't seem like it's going to turn into a lightning bolt to you.
Is it okay, Tiny?
Meow meow. Okay, meow meow.
I'll use Mage Hand just to jostle the ladder, hopefully we're far enough away.
This ladder is solid, and there's the hatch above the ladder. You can push against it to open it.
You guys think we head up?
Well, yeah. Gotta have some plan. We either gotta sleep or head up, one or the other.
Yep.
So you head up the hatch, and the hatch opens up, and you don't realize it, but when the hatch opens up, it's of course the floor of the floor above, and on the floor there's a glyph. It's not hurting you, but you open it up, and when you get to when you go through the hatch to the top of the floor, and you put the floor down, you realize that there is some sort of magical glyph there on the floor. It's inactive. I'm gonna put you guys on the next map.
Okay.
You got your tokens are just gonna be squished. No choice here.
Alright. I mean, it is a gnome tower.
Yeah. This is a tiny little tower. So you guys are
Comfy.
you guys are in a tiny little room, and on the floor directly beneath you, there's some sort of teleportation glyph. You're not sure what it is. But Tolan, you look at the glyph itself, and you do recognize that this is teleportation magic. And
Teleport.
And this is actually the end of there's no hatch above you.
Okay.
So this is the top floor of the tower.
Yeah. Well, not necessarily the top floor.
Activate this?
You don't know if this is the top floor. This is just as high as you can climb.
Okay.
Tolan, you can roll an Arcana on this teleportation glyph beneath you.
I will do that, and I'll burn one of my inspirations.
This glyph is tied to some sort of key. You need some sort of activation key to activate it. Otherwise, it's going to remain inert.
Okay. Well, I'll start looking at the wall to see if there's a panel that opens up like the last one did.
Is it a physical key?
It doesn't have to be physical key. It could be some sort of magical object.
How about that parchment?
The parchment doesn't activate it. Parchment is non-magical.
Still look at the walls to see if we can make a little bit more space for us.
The only thing you can find is that there's a sliding panel in the north wall. Kind of, you're guessing it opens up to the rest of this floor.
I think we open it up. What do we see in there? What do we see in there?
It opens up to what appears to be a trophy room. The room contains several tables and stands, which display a variety of different items. A lot of them are like some of these quirky inventions that Pablo used to play with. There's a pair of shields mounted on the wall, framing the windows. A suit of full plate armor stands on a tapestry. It's more decorative than magical.
Tolan, does it seem safe to walk in there?
It appears to be. I can't find my token to move myself in there. So.
I had token lock on. Now it's off. On the west wall, you see a door, but there appears to be some sort of magical warding, similar to the warding that was closing off this whole place to begin with.
Similar to the what warding?
Similar to the ward that is sealed off this tower, the main entrance of the tower itself.
That's on the north door?
Yeah. So this door, you recognize it. It's the same ward. You can't open that.
So that's the shadow weave magic?
Yes. Well, this whole place is emanating shadow weave magic, but that's using some sort of shadow weave to seal the door.
Very well.
You hear somebody sobbing on the other side of the door.
Door to the south, or what about the door to the south?
Oh, the door to the
Does
south
the,
is done. No, nothing.
Does it sound like a male or female sobbing?
Think it sounds a little bit more like female to you. It's kind of far away, so but you think it's more of a female.
Tolan, maybe you can communicate it. Maybe that's
Maybe it's your girlfriend.
I'm trying to yell through the door. Hello? Anyone over there?
Who's there?
It's possibly a friend. I'm trying to find out if my fellow townfolk are in this tower.
No, it's Tiax is trying to play another trick on me. Oh, woe is me.
Do
I recognize the
I
voice?
think you should share a memory with her from when you was younger.
Yeah, Tolan, you do, now you're thinking like this might be Nihana.
Well, recognizing the voice, Hey, no, it's me, Tolan Baffleheart. It's...
The voice says, Tolan? Oh, Tolan? What are you doing here? Get out of here! It's dangerous!
It may be dangerous, but I'm here with others to try to save the town.
Watch out, your brother's here, and he's gonna kill you if he finds you.
Ask her where your brother's at.
I don't know. He went outside somewhere. He should be on the other end of that door. I can't open that door. It's some magic. I tried to spell magic. I tried casting it over and over again. It doesn't open.
Fear not.
Maybe
we'll figure this out.
Maybe I'm failing my save again, over and over again. Maybe it's like a high-level spell. I don't know. Please. Oh, Tolan, I don't want you to be part of this. This is terrible. It's Tiax. Tiax, I don't know. He's brainwashed your brother. Your brother's not acting like himself. He says he wants to join Tiax.
Can we be searching around
He
on
said,
all these
no,
cables?
he says, I'm going to join TX too. Your brother says I'm going to be his wife, and we're going to both serve TX together. I'll tell him it's horrible. Please just get out of here. It's hopeless.
Nothing is hopeless. We'll figure this out. Just give us time. I'll be back.
Oh, Tolan.
Do you
As I think about that rune in the other room, the transportation rune.
Oh, that's a good point. I tried to ask her. Have you been outside this room? Have you seen things? Have you seen other gnomes besides my brother?
TX doesn't let me outside this room. Oh, he's horrible. He's a horrible person. He kept me locked in this room. And then he told me I have to be Warnell's wife, and we're gonna serve him together as husband and wife. Oh God, Warnell's not himself. He's crazy. And then
Yeah,
I
already knew that.
I heard that TX is going to bring you here. I didn't know you'd actually be here. But when Warnell heard this, he was furious. He says he's gonna kill you. Just watch out for him, okay? I don't know what's going on with him. He's not who he used to be. There's something really cruel and evil.
I am not who I used to be either. I'm much stronger than I used to be.
Well, don't
Trust me, I will be able to take care of myself, and I will...
don't trust what you can
you.
see. Please don't. There's some sort of shadow magic here. Nothing is what it seems, Tolan. Oh, please. And you hear she begins sobbing again.
Okay. Fear not. We're going to handle this. But has TX, other than use some strange magic and everything seems so dark around here, have you seen any other, like, weird magic, like transportation magic, happen?
Not that I know of. I know that Warnell always has some sort of magical stone with him.
Oh.
Aha.
Maybe that's a transportation stone, but I'm not allowed outside this room.
Alright.
He says,
Well,
but
you have help, my
TX
lady. We will...
TX talks about the voice from beyond. Something about the voice from beyond and the deal with the voice from beyond. I overheard this. He was talking with Warnell. They're plotting to take all the gnomes of Thistledore and turn them into these subservient zombie doppelganger creatures.
That's pretty horrible.
I don't know what this voice from beyond is. It sounds horrible.
As we look around in this furniture and all that stuff, is there anything that we can find? Is there drawers or something we can open, or?
You don't find anything of use looking through the. I mean, most of like there's a lot of stuff here that's worth money, but it seems more like inventor stuff. Curiosities, little inventions. Tolan, you see that little toy owl bear, that Tableau? He was called Tableau the Magnificent, and he used to come and do magic tricks. And you see like an old, that owl bear that he used to bring in, used to play with. He used to wind it up, and it would just like scream and stuff. All this stuff is sitting there collecting dust.
Oh, I think we have to go find my brother, guys.
So you say,
I'm done.
is there anything? I'm going to open this door.
You open the door, and there is a spiral staircase leading up.
Hey guys, there's a staircase over here. Apparently. That goes up.
Well,
Considering
I'll go.
I don't think we can get into that room.
At least not yet.
Not yet, though. I say we make our way up the stairs. Cautiously.
This takes you to the roof. It is a 4-story building, although you look outside and it's clearly a lot more than 4 stories. All right, where's the roof? Yeah, I'm trying to look for the roof map is kind of missing here. I have to bring it up a different way.
Is the roof on fire?
That's what I was thinking. The roof.
It has been raised.
Raise the roof.
You get to the roof, and there's 2 kind of holes for chimneys. There is a large flying contraption, and Tiax is straddling it. Yeah, Tiax rules all. You look around you, and you are very, very high up in the air. Wow, Tiax didn't expect you to be able to come to the roof. Tiax is very impressed. You shall serve Tiax well when you become Tiax's vessel. The rest of you will be Tiax's meal, of course. Yeah. Yes, Tiax's crazy self is sitting there on top of this flying contraption on top of the roof.
Well,
There he is. We got to get him, Tolan.
it appears so.
Get some rope.
Where's my brother, by the way?
Tell that.
Can you throw a lasso?
We sure?
I got rope. Here you go.
We are at the
Lasso.
We are at the end of time, but so tell me what is your next move now that you come up and find TX on this flying contraption? What is your plan for the next move?
Well, I'm gonna first yell at him. Where is my brother? To find out.
TX looks at you and says, "Too soon. Too soon. If I tell you now, I'll spoil everything. I'm just impressed you made it up here. Can you see? Can you look at this thing? I'm not sure if it flies or not, but it'd be fun to find out, wouldn't it?"
Well,
I told
if
you.
If he does try to fly away, I would have to use a particular spell.
How come you can't just listen? You know, nobody ever listens. I told you. Sleep. Sleep and you shall find me. And then what do you do? What do you do? You squirrel around, you're gonna climb to the top of the roof. Well, you did nothing, okay? You did nothing. You're just here on top of the roof. What are you gonna do? You're gonna resort to violence again? Oh, whoops! I'm gonna untoken lock. There we go. Oh, yeah.
You need to release the fair goblin maiden down there. You've got no right to keep her prisoner.
Keep her prisoner. She worships that which is Tiax. She kisses Tiax's feet.
Well, TX might think that in his head, but I don't think she does.
You will see.
Tiax, you're right. She does worship you.
So
why do you have to keep her trapped behind the door? Let her loose and let her roam the town.
Oh, Tiax is protecting her from you. Before the day is done, you will be the one killing her, not Tiax. No.
Well, if you think that we're gonna kill the fair maiden, you are wrongfully wrong.
You underestimate the power that you face. The power of Shadowfell magic. Once you are a vassal of Shadowfell magic, you will do anything I say. And your indoctrination has begun.
Dun, dun, dun.
Heard those words before.
Yep,
But-
and another.
You see, Warna was here before. He thought he could fight the great Tiax. He failed. Now Warno's little brother is here, and Warno wants to kill you because he wants to be the great servant of Tiax, and he doesn't want you to take his place. Well, I happen to know, just from what I know, because I'm the great Tiax and I know everything, I happen to know that you will make such a better servant than Warno. I think you can kill Warno. Now, if you can kill Warno, that's up to you. Well, let's see how you do. But you're wasting your time up here. What are you going to do? You're going to come attack me? You're going to come try to chop me in half with that big axe? Ooh. He's taunting and teasing you. Come on. Come attack me. I dare you. Little, you scrumpy...
Durlock, just go and smash his...
You scrumpy little dwarf.
Fighter to splinters.
You worshipper of the false god Saloon, huh? Does that get you mad? You want to come and swing at me? Come on, give
You're
it to
a
me.
little clown. How can we get mad at you?
Shut up! TX rules all. He points to you
I
angrily.
rules all in his head.
TX rules all. I have yet to really truly see this. If you're all so powerful and everything, why we shouldn't even be a bother to you?
Well, TX is simply recruiting for his army. For TX will dominate all the realms, not just the Shadowfell, not just the Prime Material. TX is going to go after the Abyssal Realm, the Elemental Realms, every last one, until TX is the uncontested final god. You should be honored to be chosen by TX.
I still say Durlock ought to go and bust up his glider. With one fat swoop.
That would be initiative if I did that.
And?
Yeah, if you were to take some hostile action, we would roll initiative, but we'd have to save the combat for next time.
See, I think an ensnare and strike, and
He
that's just
says,
gonna put vines around
Now,
it.
are you going to learn your lesson and not resort to violence and maybe use your heads? Well, not that you can possibly beat TX's massive intellect, but it'll be much more fun of a game than you just bashing these dead vessels.
Well, obviously you may not actually be here, so that's why I'm not so eager to go attack you.
No, you're not. And if you were to come and try to bash TX, Maybe Tiax would have to introduce you to his new friends. He looks at you with a malevolent glare as this purple kind of sheen glows over his eyes. Now, if you don't want to be taught that kind of a lesson, I suggest you do what Tiax does, what Tiax has told you, and just listen. Just listen. Take a nap. Take a long rest. Recharge your spells. Be ready for what is to come.
I'm ready now.
All right. So before we end the session, what do you guys choose to do?
I think Tiny Marble Kicks wants to ask Tiax a question.
Okay, I'll give you a question. Yes, go, little cat one.
Why Meow Meow using it to hurt people?
Tiax is the ruler of all. Tiax understands all, and Tiax is beyond the confounds of base morality. Tiax understands that pleasure and pain are the same, and you will understand that too, little cat one. Clearly gives you a really insane answer. Kind of philosophical mind bender kind of thing.
To bring joy to people, Meow Meow. That's what Meow Meow would do.
When you are the ruler of the heavens and the earth and the hells below, and none can challenge you, there is no good or evil. There's only the will of Tiax.
To gain by causing a drought in the river and bringing the people into your tower and not letting them out, Meow Meow.
Yes, well, they are but gnats upon the boots of Tiax. Do you not swipe at mosquitoes that fly about you, cat person? They are but mosquitoes that fly about the greatness of that which is Tiax.
They came your blood, Meow Meow, because that's what mosquitoes do.
Well, they have been sucking Tiax's blood for a long time. He gives you this malevolent look. This utter hatred from the depths of hell. All right, are you guys combating or kind of non-combating at this point, starting next session, so I can prepare?
Tolan?
Yeah. So I think it's more so up to you, Tolan. If you're,
It's all your call, Tolan.
Unless Dolrak wants to get pissed off because he insulted Saloon and just go.
Yeah, that would make sense.
I will not resort to anger. But I will help in getting revenge if my comrade wants me to.
All right, I guess. Well, just let me know if you guys are looking to combat here. So just so for my DM purposes, so I can prepare.
Okay.
What do you want to do, Tolan?
And well, I don't think going to sleep is the best idea for one thing. So I think our only option, I mean, unless anyone sees any other option than sleeping versus attacking. I think attacking is the way to go.
Attack.
Yeah, all I need to know is attack or something other than attack. You don't have to sleep, but if you're planning on doing just kind of like walking out or walking away from here and trying something else, as opposed to.
I feel it's going to come down to sleeping anyway, so.
Possibly.
Well, yeah, we're probably going to attack, but I will meander over close to him before I say, you bring up interesting points and everything, and all that. But I think my options are gonna be something you're not happy with, and then.
Yeah, I think you'd be pretty ticked off at him for the way he's treated your brother and your girlfriend and your village and your driving truck. And I think you'd be pretty pissed off.
I don't really care so much about my brother, but anyway.
But your girlfriend and your village.
Oh yeah, and what I'll do is I will cast a spell from right next to him.
All right, so before you cast a spell, initiative gets rolled. But is this a real Tiax?
Well,